Very warm Sunday afternoon here at Domain. What a weekend it's been for Western Australian football, and I reckon it could be a highlight this afternoon. West Perth taking on Subi. Subi in an ideal position, but West Perth very impressive against East Perth in the preliminary final.
Since the turn of the century, the Lions have won 5 premierships. Jared Schofield, of course, in just his 3rd season, already has 1 flag in the bank. In the rooms, he's alongside Nick Wren, who's one of our boundary riders this afternoon.
Yeah, thanks, boys. I'm down here in the rooms with Subi coach Jared Schofield. Jared, last year you were the underdogs. This year you're the red-hot favourites. How'd the preparation change?
I think that's the external people saying that we're the red-hot favourites. As it's been well documented, we're pretty close in all matches besides the second semi, and that was exactly what happened to us last year. So we're under no illusions today that once we sort of step foot onto the oval that it's going to be a 50-50 game, and we've got to make sure we bring our game. Otherwise, yeah, the favouritism means nothing.
And you've been tremendously consistent all year. What's been the secret to that?
I just think the depth of our squad. You know, we're unfortunate not to get our reserves boys through to another grand final, as they did last year. And I've got a terrific bunch of guys that want success. So they're not too hard to be pushed. And I think that's been the secret to it. With our consistency is that we've got guys that can come in and play roles. They understand our structures and our processes as a club, and they want to be a part of it. So it makes life easier for me as a coach.
Yeah, and what's the feeling like being around the club? I mean, you've had the week off, now it's time to go.
Yeah, it's been interesting. The boys have been a bit itchy, to get out there and just play a game. Training's been fantastic. I think we've managed it quite well. We've been upbeat. The skills are on. The boys are just looking forward to it. And what better day, 28 degrees at Subiaco Oval.
And just lastly, what will be your final message to the boys before they run out there on the field?
As Phil Walsh said, just get the job done. Just enjoy the experience. We've got a few newcomers to grand final day. So, yeah, look, just go out and give effort and get the job done.
Yeah, thanks very much for your time, mate. Best of luck.
Cheers.
Back to you, boys.
Subiaco coach Jared Schofield in charge of the raging favourites this afternoon at Subiaco. Across at West Perth, well, Bill Monahan, his 7th season, his chance to pick up 2 flags inside 3 years. And Cassie Silver is in the Falcons change room with him.
Bill, so it's the 2nd grand final in 3 years. What's been the feeling amongst the boys?
Oh, look, we're excited. It's an exciting time of the year, and not everyone gets to play this time of year. So, but the players are focused, and we think that if we play to our very best, that we're a chance to come away with a win. So that's what we're expecting, and the players will come out all fired up.
Now, you're coming in as the underdogs. Has there been less pressure?
Oh, look, the same in 2013. We're underdogs, so I haven't experienced as a coach being the favourite. But we don't get caught up on that. We just focus on what we can do, whether people think we're favourites or underdogs, whether there's a betting market that says, we're a high price or a low price. It doesn't change anything we do. So, like I said, we'll just go out there and give it our very best, and if that's good enough, it is, and if not, we'll work out what we need to do better.
And was there anything learnt from the 2nd semi-final loss to Subi just 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, look, most of the stats that we value around contested ball and stoppages, we got absolutely spanked in, which meant that they got the ball inside their forward 50 way too much, and it meant we couldn't score at the other end. So winning the ball at the contest is our primarily focus today.
And what was the final message before the boys run out today?
It's just, look, be the best you can be and absorb all the pressure, enjoy it, and, we practice for this day and just let it all go on the line.
All the best. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bill Monahan looking very relaxed ahead of this afternoon's WAFL Grand Final. But, of course, Subiaco have been the benchmarks, Peter, throughout the season. They have got standout players right through the lines.
Yeah, they're very even. They've got a lot of stars in their lineup, but they're very even. They share the workload. As we have a look at some of the highlights here through the season, Phelan's going to be important. Kitchen as well. The big fella, Wheeler in the ruck, is a really flexible player. And that's been the trademark of their success, sharing the load as much as possible.
Hardened bodies that tend to succeed in September.
Yeah, very much. They're strong. They've got some big bodies through that midfield. Having said all of that, though, West Perth have got the big key forwards. So Rodder and also Lowry. Here's Yaron, the leading goal scorer in the league. He's going to be important today with his defensive pressure as well as being a focal point up in attack.
Well, of course, West Perth, they did defeat Subiaco back in round 14 by 10 points on that international round. That will be of some consolation heading into this match after that 55-point defeat in the second semi.
That's right, so they know that they can do it. They can beat Subi, albeit that was at HPF Stadium up in Joondalup. They played that ground very, very well. But I'll tell you what, they're in with a show because they've got their own experience and they've got those 2 big focal points in attack, Mark.
Yes, West Perth exceptional against East Perth last week. This proposition this afternoon, a lot tougher. Shane Nelson, what a ball magnet he's been throughout the course of the year. Him and Aaron Black critical towards West Perth's chances today.
Yeah, that's right. And also the leadership of Jay Van Berlo, the experience of Luke Tedesco. They're a very even side, West Perth. I think we're in for a very tight contest.
Absolutely beautiful conditions for footy. The 2015 WAFL Grand Final. The build-up continues right after this on Macca's Match Day.
Well, it looks an outstanding match, and the punters have decided that Subiaco are the team to beat. Let's have a look at the prices in this one. They go in dominant favourites after the week off, but the Falcons have to be given some chance after their big win against East Perth in the prelim. For all your WAFL Grand Final markets, head to crownbet.com.au or download the app today.
Tropiano, 4 votes. On behalf of the West Australian Football League, I formally declare the winner of the 2015 Sandover Medal, Aiden Tropiano from the Perth Football Club.
When you feel this, when you feel this, when you feel this, don't let it go.
Aiden Tropiano. What a week it's been for WA footy. Began on Monday with the Sandover Medal and Aiden Tropiano. It wasn't a dream. You did win the Sandover. Congratulations.
Thanks very much, guys. I appreciate it, and it's been a fantastic week.
Massive night. You were behind going into the last round, and what did you feel like when the first 3 names were called out and no votes for Aiden Tropiano? Did you think you'd had a good game?
Look, I thought I had a good game, but we did get touched up by instrumental that game, and you never know how the votes go, and I was lucky enough to have those 4 votes, but Ashton Hams was a fantastic player all through the year.
Interested in some of your comments when you won the Sandover that you committed to an AFL lifestyle. Can you just tell people what that means?
I won't go too much into it because it's quite personal to me, but I obviously dug right into my diet and how I live, and and live by that for a couple of years, or for the past 2 years, and I really enjoy it. It's just part of my life now.
It was your 23rd birthday as well on Sandover Medal night. You kept that a secret, but the night itself and the vision of you being swapped by your teammates will live with you forever.
Yeah, it was obviously a fantastic night, and it was a night that I'll remember for the rest of my life, and probably you won't appreciate as much as what you do until you probably get a little bit older, and you might be sharing that with your kids and your grandkids.
I think you got AFL talent, and there's a guy by the name of Matt Priddis who won a Sandover Medal and then won a Brownlow after that, an integral part of the West Coast Eagles. Do you think that AFL is within your capabilities?
Yeah, look, first of all, I think Matt Priddis is a sensational role model, and I strive to be like him, and I don't know him personally, but he's a fantastic player in person that I've heard of, and yes, I do. I strive to go to the next level, and I will keep on developing, and hopefully I'll get the opportunity and love to take it.
Ultimately, though, you've got the Sandover Medal, but you'll be jealous of these 2 teams today that you're not out there.
Yeah, look, I was when I moved across to Perth, and I was hoping I'd be able to make an influence to take the club up the ladder again, and I'd love to be out there playing right now, and it's pretty hard to watch.
Got to ask you then for a tip in the big grand final. Who do you like, Aiden?
I think they're both fantastic teams, and they've been both well drilled by 2 amazing coaches. But I'm going to go for the underdogs as West Perth, and and I think they might stun everyone. So.
Aiden, great to have you with us on 7 Sport, the Sandover medalist for 2015. Best of luck for next year, and I'm sure it's a week you'll never forget. Aiden Tropiano joining us here as West Perth make their way onto Domain Stadium. The team photo to follow. And Peter, this is when the adrenaline really starts to flow.
It is. It would have been the routine before a grand final. Try and keep relaxed. Don't let the nerves get the better of you. But once you run out onto the playing surface, that's when the butterflies really arrive. As we see the Falcons lining up there for their team photo. They've got a lot of experience though, and they're very well coached. As are Subiaco. Bill Monahan, we heard from him earlier. He was pretty relaxed, pretty jovial, in fact. Fascinating duel. Cunin in the ruck coming up against Wheeler, both very mobile players, so that'll be an important matchup dictating the influence and outcome of this match.
Of course, one man who was pivotal to West Perth's success today, he's their key forward. He's from Frankston in Victoria, and a 6-goal haul in the prelim final.
He was very, very good. Mike Lowry, we speak of, he's kicked a number of goals this year, and those 6 goals in the preliminary final came in different ways. Primarily a marking forward, as you can see by that. Really good contested mark. He's pretty reliable with his conversion. We know how important conversion is in all games of football, but particularly finals. Bit of a fluky breeze out there, bit of an easterly today. It's important that the big forwards for West Perth nail their opportunities when they arise.
Joined for the first time this afternoon by 2006 Norm Smith medalist Andrew Embley. Andrew, grand final day. Very hard to beat. Local footy alive and well.
Yeah, great to be here and really looking forward to this game. We saw West Perth last week, outstanding. Great interview before with Cassie Silva and Bill Monahan. Bill was just talking about the last time these two teams played. And an area this year that West Perth have been very good is contested football and clearances. And against Subiaco in the second semi, Subiaco really got hold of them. So really important that guys like Black and Nelson, Manzoni, Brown, Kirk can find a lot of football through the midfield today. And if they can convert that football into inside 50s, then you expect guys like Lowry and Rodder are going to have a day out.
Let's have a look here. Subiaco come onto the ground. They're ideally placed, aren't they, Andrew? 1 game in 4 weeks. 2 hot games as far as the weather conditions for West Perth while they were resting up Subi. The entree into a grand final doesn't get much better than this.
It's an ideal preparation. Heading into a final series, a grand final, you want to make sure that you have your best players fit and fresh and ready to have a real big impact on today's game. And Subiaco, they don't have genuine stars in their team. They are an even team, a well-structured and a well-drilled side.
No question about that, and so many of these players are returning from their 2014 premiership success. Kyle Horsley, the captain today. And of course, the Sandover Medal, Aidan Tropiano winning by 1 vote. There's one player that was storming home after missing the first 11 weeks. Sam Menegola, 41 votes he finished with. What a second half of the year.
Well, he's had time at Hawthorn, he's had time at Fremantle as well. He's very, very fit, this guy. They say that he's an animal in the gym and getting his body into elite condition. And for probably the first time in a number of years, he's actually been more freewheeling. Only a run-with player at Hawthorn, Box Hill or whatever, and also at Fremantle, that was the role that they assigned him. But getting out there and winning footy and kicking goals, Andrew, and a good size as well.
He's a Patrick Dangerfield of the AFL. So good in tight, so strong, but they can hurt you on the outside as well. Use the football and just have a look at the size of him. As you said, spent some time at the AFL, and on the back of the year that we've seen this year, the fact that he's got his body right certainly wouldn't surprise me if he ends up at an AFL club next year.
Sam Menegola, so much riding on his input this afternoon. The 2015 grand final not far away. It's been a wonderful season. Subiaco and West Perth, the teams are playing for a premiership this afternoon after what's been an incredible year of local football. Two proud clubs and some wonderful moments during their illustrious history, and it's a chance now for the players to contemplate what's to come over the next 2.5 hours. Kyle Horsley and Michael Lowry get ready for WAFL Grand Final 2015, and Subiaco have a settled lineup Beginning right in defence with Darren Rumble.
Darren Rumble, remarkable. If Subiaco were to win this grand final, that would be premiership number 6, Andrew Embley. Extraordinary effort, but there's a lot of experience there. Lockyer, Wade Toomey's been around for a while, Horsley, Robinson. So much experience. We've talked about Menegola, but it is the team effort. They all weigh in, Subi. That's their great strength.
Across at the Falcons, one big inclusion, which has come out of left field, given an injury sustained in the preliminary final.
Yeah, Lane Rumnison has got his spot in the side. He looked like he limped off the ground, didn't come back on in that prelim, and certainly didn't think that he'd get himself back in the side. But well done to the medicos. He's back out there. Unfortunately, Matthew Johnson with that hamstring injury is not there. But that back line is very good, led by Adams, outstanding last week. Tedesco and Keitel. We've spoken about their midfield and that forward line with Michael Lowry in particular. If that West Perth team can give this forward line enough supply today, they may just ask the Subiaco defenders a few questions.
WA footy very much alive, and the competitiveness extends on and off the field. And Cassie Silver has brought together two very high-profile number 1 ticket holders boundary side.
Yes, there's a bit of healthy banter down here on the boundary. I am trying to break the two apart. I'm down here with the number 1 ticket holders, Basil Zemplis, Justin Langer. Guys, has there been a bit of sledging during the week?
There has been. We had a couple of opportunities to catch up. And JL's a little man, but he talks a big game. He's a bit like Subi, actually. And I know they start favourites, which is just how JL likes it. But we don't mind being the underdogs either, JL.
Yeah, we're usually underdogs, Baz, but look, it's going to be fantastic. What a day for footy. And, very much looking forward to the Subi conquering today.
Back-to-back too for Subi, which would be massive. And I think West Perth, a little bit like West Coast, probably against the odds, and getting to a grand final is a huge result. As JL said, the weather's almost it's just a great weekend for WA footy, and this is the icing on the cake. 25,000, it's absolutely brilliant.
Right, and guys, your margin tips for today?
Well, I'm sticking with the 5 points as seen in the West during the week with John Townsend. It's going to be tight and tough. If we can shut down Menegola, I think we can win. 5 points for me.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great game till half time, and I think we'll run away after that.
Right, well, I'm going to break these two apart. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Cassie, and to Basil and Justin. If it does get physical on, taking Langer, he's a black belt in karate.
With that West Perth tie, Baz actually looked like a school uniform, didn't it, with the grey suit and West Perth tie?
Absolutely. It's been 3 pulsating days of footy here in Perth. Both teams head towards the wing to form a line, the national anthem, and this is the moment when players can contemplate what's to come over the next 2.5 hours. Piece of history for Subi, back-to-back flags beckon if they win, and West Perth looking for their second premiership in 3 years.
With me as well is national anthem singer Sam Roberts-Smith. We're incredibly close now to the national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, would you please stand for the Australian national anthem, today sung by Sam Roberts-Smith from the West Australian Opera.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing advance Australia fair.
There we have it. Sam Roberts-Smith did a great job with that, Andrew Embley. Great projection. What would be going through the players' minds right now? All the work's been done, Bally. Now it's just time to relax and go out there and basically put into practice everything that you've been doing all year. Don't expect the guys to go out there and try anything different because it's grand final day. They believe in their preparation, they believe in their game plan and their routine, and now it's a matter of implementing that game plan this afternoon.
Toss it toss of the coin about to be conducted. Luke Tedesco and Kyle Horsley on the wing. And the toss has been won by Horsley. Subiaco players remain in their huddle going through their final preliminaries under beautiful skies here in Perth. It's been a terrific weekend of football, a triple header culminating with this afternoon's premiership decider between Subiaco and West Perth. As I said, West Perth have beaten Subiaco once this year, back in round 14. That was by 10 points, but outside of that, Subiaco too strong in round 4 and also in the second semi-final by 55 points. So off the back of that, the Lions, heavy favourites, but sometimes that burden of favouritism can weigh pretty heavily.
Sometimes you're exactly right, and it counts for nothing right now. Hot day. That's a worry for me for West Perth. It was reasonably hot last week as well, where Subi have been just studying the opposition and resting up. They've had an ideal run in, the Lions, but we know when that ball is bounced, perfect preparation. Doesn't count for much in that first half. It's going to be red hot.
Well, particularly evidence of that was last night in the AFL match between North Melbourne and the West Coast Eagles. It took the Eagles the best part of a half to get their game up and running. So they should finish this match off really well, Subiaco, but West Perth, you'd think, would have to strike early and put some self-doubt amongst this Lions lineup. It all begins in the middle.
Going to be really important today for West Perth that they can match it with Subiaco through the middle of the ground. Contested football and clearances is their strength. They need to improve on what they delivered in that second semi. But they've certainly got players that are prepared to run and carry the football. Their pressure out last week against East Perth was outstanding. They forced them into the turnover, and then on transition their counter-attack was very good. Michael Lowry gave them a really good target inside that forward 50, so he'll be looking for another big game this afternoon.
Looks like Phelan and Van Berlo.
And we're ready to go for the grand final of 2015. Subiaco, West Perth. And Wheeler, the first touch of it. Nelson, by hand to Kerr. So the Falcons inside the 50 or thereabouts initially. Rodder hit it hard. Subi can repel. Quick kick by Kitchen inside the centre square. Ball movement is sleek. Toomey on the end of a hand pass. Ill-directed kick. Intercept mark taken by Keitel.
Vigorous start, wasn't it? Some big hits in the first minute.
West Perth prepared to run and carry. Black receives. Lockyer forced to spoil. Black off his left into the pocket. Defensive spoil and knocking the ball well and truly away from Shannon.
And that running carry from West Perth, we saw it last week. They really want to give that quick little handball. They want to move their game quickly. So it's going to be really important for Subiaco today to put that pressure on and see if they can slow West Perth's ball movement down.
Wheeler knocks it to the front. Lynch over it. And he's held up. It is a big day for Aidan Lynch, turned 21. Maybe double celebration for him. Also, birthday for one of his teammates in Trent Manzoni, who's 24, and Cody Manning turns 24 tomorrow as well. So might be a few extra candles on the cake if they can get the big result this afternoon. West Perth in a scoring position here. A real scramble. Phelan involved. Van Berlo is taken to ground as well.
Adams has gone to Delahunty. Marcus Adams, he was so impressive last week, really launching at the footy. He's a big boy.
Opening moments of this grand final. Kick out of defence has been marked by Brown.
He's got the breeze right behind him. I reckon it's a 2 or 3 goal breeze. It's an easterly. He'd have no problems with the distance here.
23 games with Carlton. The defender pushing forward from just outside the paint. Came off the side of the boot. Manning on Horsley. Strong over the football. West Perth, the intent early is very promising.
Great tackle there by Cody Manning. Really impressed with the way he went about it last week. I thought his defensive pressure inside the forward 50 was outstanding, creating opportunities for his teammates.
from the restart. Bit of push and shove off the footy there as well.
Conversion's so important early. We saw both teams with this tricky breeze struggle last night. Need to take your opportunities.
Van Berlo forced over and out. And once again, still a stalemate, looking for our first score of the afternoon.
It's Van Berlo who's gone to Sam Menegola.
Wheeler did well in the ruck. Big man scrambles a kick to Luca on the end of it. Thought about using the corridor, but Yaron, well, he did everything but take the mark. Nonchalantly approached the football, and then a bit of verbal from Rowan Kerr on the way back.
He's a confidence player, Shane Yaron. Just got to make sure he puts that one behind him.
Boundary thrown. Kiernan was there. Comes to the front. Horsley flips it over the top. Kiernan did well, the big man. Release hand pass Nelson. Scrambles a kick to the 50. Lynch received it from Shannon. Heel stripped of it immediately. And early pressure being absorbed by this Subiaco defence.
Tense game of footy so far, Belly. Both sides applying some really good tackles, lots of pressure around. You expect that when the two best teams in the competition face off.
Opens up here for Lynch. Left foot, tries to bend it. Always off to the left-hand side. First score of the afternoon. Subiaco have yet to have a forward 50 entry. Ball back in the Wheeler direction. Wrestling with Kiernan. The ladder did well, but it spills to the back where DeLuca mops up. Short ball for Wood. And now they can use the corridor. They look dangerous here. And Phelan works at the bowler direction. Terrifically weighted the kick. And an opportunity from 45 out, maybe 50, to go back and score Subiaco's first.
That's where they're so dangerous, and it was a courageous bit of play from Wood. It's all that high risk, high reward kick into the centre square, and they had numbers, Subi. They look really dangerous.
Boland kicked 53 goals last year, not so productive in 2015. 24 next to his name. Has he got the length from outside 50? Just on it. It's got good elevation. The umpire watches it sail over the goal line. And there's your first of the grand final. Kerr. Pop it over the top. Bartholomew running hard and will still get this, although the pass wasn't brilliant.
Clever.
Toe poke was great though. Over the top. Lynch, a floater. Might work out okay. Rumble. Well, that's why he's a 229-game veteran. Read the flight of the footy superbly and sought the sanctuary of the line.
And it was really clever play from Bartholomew. I think it was Manzoni who was clear there. Just couldn't get the ball to him.
West Perth inside their 50 yet again. Can't create scoring opportunities thus far. Van Berlo hooks to the teeth of goals.
They're pretty reliable, Lockyer and also Rumble. Really going to have to earn their goals, the West Perth power forwards.
Dangerous kick, but it could work out for Subiaco if they maintain possession. That's not the case. Hand pass back inboard, taken by Marnie. Quick break here for Subiaco. Yaron on the end of it. Takes it and goes. Unguarded goal square. Tries to bounce it home and does just that.
We've seen two really good kicking goals from Subiaco. Their forwards are getting high, and once you get them out the back, they look very dangerous. And Shane Yaron that particular time just had the composure and the skill to kick a really good goal from outside 50.
Out by 10 points, the Lions. Ideal start for them in these warm conditions. The grand final day. Manning with a strong tackle. The umpire intervenes.
Only a small thing there, but he really body-lined it, Robinson. He's an experienced player and he's had a good start to this game.
Delahunty wins it. Lynch, hurried ball. Potente, lively last week in the preliminary final. Bouncing to his feet. The Shannon into the pocket. And here's the man that has created a real buzz after his 6-goal haul in the preliminary final. Michael Lowry, from a very tough angle, has an opportunity to land the first blow for West Perth.
As we have a look at that ball movement, just really quick ball movement by West Perth, and as a defender, when you move the ball that quickly, it's so difficult to stop.
Oh, there's a kick. That's a wonderful effort, and that will bring West Perth fans to their feet.
An urgent reminder to all Gippsland businesses. Permanent recruitment packages, just $2,500, including an applicant assessment, radio advertising and a money-back guarantee. 10 only this month. WSG, locally grown, locally owned.
Out here, you can keep it clean or just get it done.
There's a forward, in form, self-belief, confidence high.
The moment it left the boot, he was confident. Look at him there, who was gesticulating to the crowd before it went through for a goal. And it was a great kick from Shannon to Lowry's advantage.
High quality opening to this grand final. The response required by West Perth, and they duly delivered. Robertson scrambles a kick to half forward. Halligan, clever knock on. Wood over the top. Hancock just behind Hancock, so he had to try to go back and find it. So West Perth with numbers. Nelson scrambles the ball in the Manning direction. Intention was good, but he couldn't get enough on that. And Kennedy mops up, turns over the footy. Nelson. Long ball by Kerr, almost to the 50, right up. West Perth have a couple there. Patente was taken high.
High contact, yeah.
Springs to his feet, on the left. Pitches just in front of Lowry, not great delivery.
Interesting there. I think Stevie Patente's sister goes out with Wade Toomey, so the household
communication may have been down this week.
Yeah. Today.
Not much love between these clubs, mind you. They couldn't even share a drink card at the Hippie Club this year without getting into an all-in. So, heavens forbid when they're playing for this type of prize. Ball too much on it for Wood. Keitel, youngest player out there this afternoon. Just off the hand pass, tackled by Marnie, was good on strike.
Yeah, good pressure by Marnie. Nullified a situation, turned what looked like to be a West Perth attacking thrust into a neutral situation.
For the restart, Lynch taken high, wins the free kick, and of course if you'd like to keep up to date on this Premiership decider, the WAFL app is up and running. The AHG Mark of the Year, the Reba.com Goal of the Year, all to be announced today on 7 Sport. Lockyer, shut down quickly by Patente. Played it really well, the small forward from West Perth. And he wins a ball up, but he also wins plenty of plaudits from his teammates.
He started very well, Patente. Yep, certainly a very dangerous forward, live wire, creating opportunities for his teammates through that pressure at the moment.
Away from the congestion, Kerr. Lynch still in the field of play, and Burlow opens up. Going to ground was Nelson. Was he leg? No,
yeah,
holding the ball.
Was it trick?
Yeah, well, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Oh, he's in trouble here.
Menegola, red hot, gone. No private. There was no legal disposal either. Just absolutely caught blindsided. And that was Strike who did just that.
Well, Delahunty shouldn't have handballed it. I'm not sure if Menegola called for it, but he shouldn't have if he did.
Been a good start by West Perth. Definitely getting the game played in their forward half. They're controlling the game. The only 2 goals that Subiaco have kicked have been goals out the back, but their pressure's been great. And if they continue to get the ball played in this forward half, then they're going to give themselves opportunities of hitting the scoreboard.
Strike's kick, bending back. He's a noted goal kicker. Mistake inside defensive 50, and it cost them dearly.
Yeah, not really quite sure what happened there, but in your defensive 50, you just want to clear the ball. No little silly handballs like that. Sam Menegola probably shouldn't have called for it, but Delahunty should have never given the ball as well. So West Perth made the most of that opportunity.
High contact after a scrimmage inside the centre square. Subiaco take it, Wheeler. At the back end of the centre square. Falcons by 2 points. Kick in the Boland direction. Had hands on it. Hoskins at the spill. Opens up for Boland again, who receives it from Horsley. Straightens up. 50 out. Goes for home. It's a helicopter. But it's flown very straight.
The Jurgens Caravan range is expanding. We're launching adventurous new off-road models built tough to tackle the rough stuff with camping luxury. And new Aussie-built tough road models that will take you places you never imagined in complete style and total comfort. So we're doing great deals on some of our current popular models to make room. Pick up a bargain on one of our tow-friendly caravans. You don't need a huge four-wheel drive. And like all Jurgens caravans, they're built light and strong, ready for adventure. Hurry into your local Jurgens dealer while stocks last.
What's concerning for West Perth at the moment is that every time Subiaco go inside their forward 50, they score 3 inside 50s, 3 goals. And that last kick to centre half forward just then, there was 3 or 4 Subiacos front and square. Not one West Perth player prepared to get front and square and crumb. And from that, Subiaco were able to go inside their forward 50 and kick another goal.
Wonderful viewing though. A grand final like this, 3 goals to 2 inside 20 minutes. This is going to be a fatiguing contest if it stays at this pace.
And interesting when you kick into the breeze, if you punch it low and hard like Yarran did, and also like Boland did there, the ball is carrying. Both of their kicks went in excess of 50 metres.
Hancock with a spiral. Another entry for Subiaco. Spoil came from Keitel. Strike gathers and gives to Manzoni. The Queenslander in space, but held up. And hence he retreats. Strike has it. Goal next to his name this afternoon. Good ball for Cunin. Dropped the mark on the stretch. And importantly, the turnover was about to be realised. Boundary umpire intervenes. West Perth dominating inside the forward half, 89%. But it hasn't translated on the scoreboard just yet. Manzoni. Inside 50 again. Rodder gathers, hand pass from the outside of the boot. Manning. This would be a brilliant goal, but the bounce was always heading across the face.
Another opportunity for Manning. Maybe if he could get in, straighten up a little bit on a drop punt there. It's the worry at the moment. They look so damaging with slingshot footy, Subi.
I think Fowler on his left, non-preferred kick, marked by Cunin, great stretch. And a giant ruckman from West Perth. Turns 32 next month, but being turned over. And a long ball. Keitel trying to track the flight to Luca. The tackle is good. Marcus Adams there to help out. Brown, back to Keitel. Kitchen. Thrust aside once, not twice though. And Boland wins the free kick. Kitchen going back, brilliant mark taken by Strike. Acrobatic, plenty of courage, and now West Perth on the counter. Shannon can't break Horsley initially, then he gets through. Manzoni almost to the 50. Rodder with clever use of the body. Manning unable to reel that one in.
That's a goal saver, Andrew Strike. Just got the one hand in there, brilliant mark.
Great bit of play all round, wasn't it? Subiaco's pressure to force West Perth into the turnover. They go inside their forward 50, and Strike had worked back really hard, got himself in a good spot and took a really good mark.
Wheeler nudges Cunin out, who then toe pokes it at 3 metres. Manzoni off balance and out of bounds.
Started really well, Strike. 6 disposals, Manzoni with 6 also, although that one he'd be disappointed with, out of bounds on the full.
And one thing with Strike, as we know, when he gets the football in his hand, when he does find the footy, he likes to kick it. He's got such a penetrating kick. He uses the ball so well.
One of those 70-metre players. He'll kick at 55 and run 15 each time he gets the footy.
Wheeler in front, spoiled. Marnie, by hand to Robinson. Bounce gets away from Yarran. Brown, across to Keitel, and Tedesco the target.
Just missed a few of their targets, West Perth. I reckon they've got the possession dominance at the moment, but probably haven't been as skillful as they would have liked to really maximise that dominance.
Just got out-crumbed again, so watching that at the moment, Subiaco want to go long. They get in a contest, and at the moment, it's the Subiaco players that are getting front and square.
Can the Falcons maintain this intensity? Off the deck goes Nelson, taken by Toomey. Afanu turns it over. And Rasmussen, the kick was poor, but sits okay for Rodder. Rumble with the tackle. Got past Bartholomew, that was the target. And Robinson there to assist. In turn to Menegola. Good ball for Delahunty.
What about that kick?
On the outer side.
Great kick, great lead too.
Wheels and goes. Bit of elevation. Boland though sneaks a couple of metres clear. That's all he needed. Just outside his range. Phelan calls for it at the top of the square. Heads in his direction. Toomey in support at the back. Phelan, if it stays in play, which it doesn't. But gee, out the back, West Perth again looking vulnerable.
They are. West Perth defenders just got to make sure that they don't get too high, because certainly Subiaco forwards at the moment are trying to get high, and then just trying to turn the West Perth defenders inside out by pushing really hard back to the goal. So that back line for West Perth have to hold their structure.
Kerr from deep in defence. It's a torn one out there. Subiaco with the numbers, but Van Berlo happy to work it back to a stoppage. This game does have a feel, provided West Perth can maintain that intensity of a really good grand final. Beautiful conditions, good crowd. Wheeler hooks it behind. Manzoni off to Tedesco. Good run from Bartholomew, the veteran. Spots for Tente, meters in the clear. Hands it back, Manning. A very wide ball. And that makes it really tough for Fowler. Could have made more of that, West Perth. Having said that, they have made some metres.
Subiaco at the moment dominating the hit out 16-6, but when you look at clearances, West Perth up 13-7, so Subiaco probably just need a little bit more of an understanding of, you know, who's the go-to player, who's blocking. Need to probably work for each other around those stoppages a bit more at the moment.
Fowler close to the line, worked over by Worthington. Taxing conditions on this Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, both teams, lots of rotations as you'd expect, as is the modern way.
Rodder in the ruck, Wheeler there as well. Nelson, quick hands. Touch footy coming out of defence, so Delahunty, well, he's paid the mark. Sounded like there was a hand on it. Poor hand pass, Horsley. He gives it up to Black, off a step.
Tell you what.
Adams goes for broke. That's a remarkable goal. Outstanding. We may not see a better grand final goal for many years than that.
What a goal from the boundary line, but Belly again. Delahunty's handball was poor. There's two handballs that he's given away at the moment, and there's two goals that's resulted to West Perth.
What about the goal from Adams? That is one of the great feelings, I reckon, in football, when you run back to full back after you've just kicked a goal. Terrific skill.
Yes, on the radar of AFL clubs, his brother Luke Adams, of course, a runner today, and his trials and tribulations, but a moment the Adams family will treasure, I'm sure. Kitchen almost run down. Wood on the half volley, couldn't control it to Luca. Sidesteps, kick intercepted. And West Perth with just a bit of momentum nearing quarter time as Van Berlo breaks to half back. Over the top of Tente. Lot to like about his opening quarter again. Spots Brown, afforded plenty of space. Bartholomew cruising past, the veteran. Drives a long ball. The full forward Rodder almost took the mark. Now he's surrounded. He dropped it. No whistle. Lockyer kicking wide, and Horsley close to the boundary line. Has to be careful with the kick in the Wheeler direction. It sits for him. And the big man, he's very agile. Dangerous ball. Strike. Ricochets 30 metres. To Nelson. Hurried ball. Lockyer in front.
Both teams could do with a bit of composure here. It's all getting a little bit ragged. Pressure is at a premium, so just a bit of composure, hit your targets.
Jordan Lockyer, an ex-Falcon. Almost to the wing. Taken by Adams. High ball in the Lowry direction. At the spill, it's all Subiaco. And Heel, a good central ball for Toomey, and now Phelan. This is where they can really cut you up, Subiaco. Delahunty in turn to Marnie. Wood into space. couldn't take the mark. Tedesco lost his footing. Wood carries on, 15 out, across his body, had a couple inside. And now they look at their teammate and suggest perhaps there was another option. Brown to himself. Delahunty, disciplined with the spoil. Gathered by Tedesco. Across to Black. Knocked down. Menegola goes to ground. And a push in the back. Will be a West Perth ball. Horsley just going over the top of Aaron Black, last year's Sandover medalist. A pretty good season as it stands. 37 votes this year, although being ineligible. To the wing. No mark played. In fact, no chopping of the arms either. Marnie's ball smothered. Van Berlo went to a voice. That was Kerr. And Berlo again. West Perth work it well. Off a step. Cunin. Forward of half forward. Lynch wrestling with his man. Ends up with Phelan. Composure required by both teams, but not a lot of it's coming at the moment. We do have a whistle. And Cunin will win the footy.
Started pretty well, Cunin.
I'd like to know what factor the fatigue will become in the last quarter, because these players have been end-to-end. Adams spearing a footy. Lockyer, brilliant intercept.
It was a good mark, wasn't it? Had a bit of heat on that ball from Adams.
It was travelling. Kennedy working it for Heel. Spoil came from Rowe, taken by Phelan, who's been busy early. To Luca. Yaron wants it to the top of the square. Getting back. Oh, he lost his man beautifully. And the Bernie Naylor medalist with poise. Once that ball was kicked to his advantage, he was going to be very tough to beat.
Coast-to-coast footy belly again, and this is where Subiaco are getting West Perth. Their transition from defence into attack. They're going for those long kicks. They're getting some really good contests. Again, they just continue to outnumber West Perth at the stoppages. And now Yaron gets another shot at goal.
Got rid of Morrow. And the kick hangs out to the right.
Belly for mine, West Perth have been very good in this quarter. Yeah. Clearances, contested football, getting the game played in their forward half. What's letting them down, though, is that when Subiaco move the ball quickly, they're just getting caught out the back.
Strike, heads towards Black. Kennedy lays a tackle. In support, Manning. To Manzoni. Bit of space ahead to operate. And Lowry nudges Lockyer under the football. Man in the goal square. Worthington attacked it hard.
Was it Lockyer, was it? I don't know, Lockyer or Worthington, they both got the blonde hair there, but whoever it was, outstanding, wasn't he? Terrific play.
Worthington, the player that...
You got it right. Just left his man, didn't he, Mark?
Had to win that footy because there was a man in the square unattended. West Perth pressing. Quarter time, not far away.
Free kick to Subi for in the back. Yeah, West Perth doing so much right, but it's that counter-attack slingshot footy of Subi where they're getting found out.
25 minutes into this first quarter of the WAFL Grand Final. Rodder-up. Delahunty, though, had a piece of it. And out the back door they go again. Halligan. On his left, Yaron. Does he take it on the line? No. A couple of moments was Yaron that just got past him today.
One thing's for sure, the two best teams in the competition are putting on a terrific show so far. Fantastic first quarter, real intensity, lots of pressure, and it's been a great start.
Good ball by Morrow for Manning. Indecision. Lobs it in the Cunin direction. Slapped forward by Rasmussen. Heel. Hand pass, set up Robinson. He dropped the football. Rasmussen goes on. He's stripped of it. Important ball to be won here. Robinson searches. Hand pass is good. Delahunty touched off the boot. Gets past Boland. Keitel instinctively heads wide. And Shannon on the chest. Plenty of space in that forward line. The Falcons, have they got the appetite to move it quickly? Terrible kick. Kitchen takes the mark. It was intended for Bartholomew. DeLuca pushing back. Halligan.
I thought he was trying to slap it. That was incredible.
He tried to slap it behind to a tee, but as it is, Yarran will take the mark just on the siren.
They're going to pay it. I don't know. Go. We've got the siren right next to us here.
I thought that it was marked on the siren, but the umpires agree.
What about the mark, though, before? He tried to knock it on and it just landed. That was incredible. It's got Velcro forearms.
Oh, glad the mistake was the right one, because
pay it
has to be paid.
Bear in mind that it takes a bit of time for that sound to travel from where we are and the broadcast is out to the oval.
Exactly. After the siren for the lead for Subiaco. Yarran. Another miss. And so the Bernie Nala medalist with some thinking to do. The raging favourites, Subiaco, they lead, but by the barest of margins at quarter time. It is going to be a fascinating final three quarters. West Perth coming into this contest looking to upset Subiaco and their hopes of back-to-back flags. The chosen few coming up shortly on 7. The grand final continues on Macca's Match Day shortly. The time in the grand final of 2015, it's Subiaco by a point, 3-4 to 3-3. Just a fascinating contest with the ball winners from both sides getting plenty of it.
That's right, West Perth winning inside 50s, winning contested possessions, winning clearances, but Subi so dangerous in the slingshot footy. Shane Yarran to be disappointed with his return of 1 goal too, but Boland looking good up forward. Andrew, how did you see it?
Yeah, saw it that way, Bally. West Perth's pressure was absolutely outstanding, forcing Subi into the turnover, and from that they've been able to score.
Let's head to Nick Wren with the Subiaco coach.
Yeah, Scully, a couple of missed opportunities there. What was your message to the boys?
Yeah, well, obviously at the end there we missed some easy chances there. But like I just said to the boys, I said they're looking to swing the ball on us and open up, playing a bit of surge football. So we just got to be a little bit harder in sticking our tackles on the inside. But what I do feel is that when we get a bit of open ball, we've been able to open them up. So we just got to make sure we maintain the pressure around the footy.
Yeah, Andrew Strike having a bit of influence. How do you nullify him?
Oh, he's a quality player. Oh, you just got to play. You got to score on him. So at the moment we haven't scored on him. So hopefully we can do that in the next 3 quarters.
Best of luck, Scully.
Jared Schofield, one of the few league coaches with a sleeve tattoo. Wouldn't argue against him in the change rooms.
Good get there by Nick Wren too. Andrew Strike, I think, has been the most influential player on the ground. That right boot is lethal. And interesting to hear Jared Schofield talking to Lachlan Delahunty. Slow it down, mate. You're going 100 miles an hour at the moment. He's coughed up a couple of handballs.
Can happen in the grand final. Wonderful opening quarter. Subiaco by a point. And Cunin alongside Wheeler go toe-to-toe again. Phelan momentarily off the ground, was in danger by Van Berlo. He knew it as soon as he lashed out. Oh, the hand pass. Set up Worthington. Toomey, probing kick. Well, wasn't intended for Yarran, but on the slide, he takes the mark.
I call that one the Phil Matera. Just trail in the big forward. It's amazing how many times it just goes over their head.
Really important that Shane Yarran can go back and kick this goal. Kick the 1 goal in the first quarter, a couple of set shots that he would love to go on back and kick. So he's kicked a couple of points, but he's certainly looking dangerous inside that forward 50. And it'll be a great start if Subiaco's Shane Yarran can go back and kick this one.
From outside 50. Looking for goal number 50 of the season, and he makes amends for the blunder at the end of the first quarter.
And it was a good kick coming in from Wade Toomey. And as Belly mentioned, it may have not been actually directed at Shane Yarran, but smart forward follows his teammate up, and the ball went over the back, took a really good mark low down.
Lions out by 7, and Burlow charges through. Wheeler goes off the deck unsuccessfully. Nelson, Lynch, and now Manning. Left footer. Gets past Shannon. Spun. Lost his footing. Worthington over it. Intercepted by Manning, and he puts it over. Wade Toomey, 98 games with Swan Districts.
Premiership player in 2010 for Swan Districts.
Move though, paying dividends. The defender. Here's that man Strike. Off balance. Not deemed 15. Adams was strong, but the mark wasn't paid because it didn't travel the required distance. So Strike now has to try and get that extra metre each, and just away from the grasp of Strike.
It was a very good non-mark from Adams. Degree of difficulty very high. Unfortunately, the umpire adjudicated that didn't go 15 metres. What about 50 in the air?
Wheeler camped in front. Kitchen at the base of all that. Horsley. With some slick footwork in the direction of Halligan. Road goes to ground. Flipped out the back. May have been a throw. And Morrow to take some of the heat out of this Subiaco surge at the start of the second quarter. Across to Drew Road. Contemplating heading to strike. Manning got up, but it was Wood, in fact, that had his hand on the football. Manning did really well. Knocks it to Manzoni in turn black. On his right, off balance. Pressured with the kick, and Rumble looking for premiership number 6, just escorts the ball over.
So experienced, Darren Rumble. Knew that the boundary line was there, but he bodylined the footy. That was a spectacular marking attempt by Manning.
Came off his man, Michael Lowry there, Rumble as well. Identified where the danger was and just did enough to get that ball out of bounds. Terrific play.
Nelson from the stoppage. Hooks it to the pocket. Worthington pursued by Shannon, who beats him to it. Hooks a good ball to the top of the square, and just outside of it, Menegola couldn't hang on, charging through Manning. The ball to be won here, and Menegola just jams it on the boot. Almost to the wing. Road straightens up. And Manning on the advance again. Dropped it, about to be shut down. The kick was poor.
A bit sloppy there.
And Kitchen heads into defence. Across to Phelan. Not a good ball for Menegola. Kerr has him, ball and all. And now he'll be penalised.
Might have been a bit stiff there, Menegola. The handball by Delahunty wasn't great.
Kick by Kerr almost decapitated the umpire. But there's the man who's been instrumental in West Perth being right in this contest. And Andrew strike from about 35 metres on a 45-degree angle.
He's a beautiful kick, isn't he?
Terrific kick. Great field kick. And if he kicks this set shot like he kicks in general play, this will go straight through the middle.
Andrew Strike won this afternoon. That's a wonderful kick. A beautiful goal.
Not sure if Sam Menegola had prior opportunity there, but the kick coming inside was a terrific kick, and Strike, just great understanding there. And as we have a look at this set shot, it's just a beautiful kick. As soon as it left his boot, he knew exactly where it was going.
Just goes to prove if you can get the ball in the hands of good finishers, makes life a lot easier for conversions. Good ball by Wheeler, down to Menegola. Manzoni, out to Morrow, and turn Kerr. And Road is the last player to touch it before a kick's involved. Rasmussen went to ground. Fowler digs it out, goes back to Rasmussen. How he's out there is anyone's guess, but he did dive on the footy. Going in for ankle surgery next week, we believe.
Strikes up to 11 disposals, 6 marks.
And this may be reversed. Oh no, it's going to be a 50-metre penalty.
A couple of goals as well. Player's not sure what's going on here.
I'm not sure the umpire knows what's going on either.
A West Perth player, Potente, was put down. Initially it was deemed a 50-metre penalty, which did seem strange. So a bit of confusion. The umpire then just getting a little bit confused. Hence, many around the ground bewildered. Jay Van Berlo pops it short. And Manzoni
won a lot of footy as well, possession 13.
24 years of age today. Drives it almost to the pocket. Rodder, spoilt by Lockyer. Fowler knocks it towards Lockyer, who can't take it with him. There's a bit of extra spice with every tackle that's put on between these two clubs.
The tackling's been first rate.
Wheeler just knocked it to his feet. Black tries to feed it out. Wheeler did well at ground level. Fluky bouncing ball. Wood did just enough. Well, Delahunty, how did he dispose of that? Just knocked it towards a teammate. Menegola stands in the tackle. 3 lines are there. Hoskins by hand to Horsley. And But it's a foot race to the wing where Morrow has Bartholomew in support. Uses him now. Rasmussen is the next link in the chain. About to go inside 50 with a probing kick. Rumble in front. Never had any intention other than fisting that footy away. There may have been a moment where attempting the mark was an option, but not for a defender like Darren Rumble.
Extremely disciplined there. Darren Rumble knew exactly what he was doing. Gets the ball out of bounds.
The restart. Rasmussen taken down by Hoskins. Bill Monahan would be relatively content with the way this game is being played out at the moment.
They're well on top with the disposals. They've got possession dominance at the moment, the Falcons.
And the goal up again. No real science with his clearance, but it's all about metres. And on this occasion, works out well. Halligan makes it tough for Yarran close to the boundary line. Oops, going to ground was Adams. Flipped up, thrown up, according to the umpire.
Didn't need to do that, Shane.
Yeah, he telegraphed it, didn't he?
Had too much time. Just needed to pick it up, and quick little handball, and Subiaco were away.
Tedesco shows a lot of the football inside the centre square, but Coonan well protected by Nelson. Moves it on. Deep ball. Rumble again. In a position to mark. Chose not to. By hand to Horsley. Takes something off the kick.
That's a better exit then.
Hancock. Carries. Kicks. Keitel. Out points. Boland. End to end. Adams. Good kick. Works it laterally, and Road has Nelson on the wing. Will use him now via the agency of Aaron Black. Almost a game of chess at the moment. Both teams feeling each other out. Lowry took the mark. Moves it on. Long ball. Rumble with a fist. Hand pass ends up with Toomey. Subi can break, although Kennedy took a while. Gave up the hand pass to Manzoni. Great vision. The kick out wide will be marked. Taken. And surely a goal coming up across the face, though.
It's Aaron Black,
Aaron Black on the outer side. He was spotted by Manzoni, which was terrific footy.
And should have done a lot better there too, Black. Whether you go back and have a set shot, or if you want to play on, just got to make sure you kick those goals.
Toomey. The kicking duties. And Lockyer. This is a dangerous kick, but it's well worked to Hancock. Lions flirting with danger there. Wheeler had to stand in the tackle. Did it well.
No, it's called for a throw. Things going West Perth's way at the moment. Cunin's just given a shove in the back to Wheeler. Umpire telling him to calm down.
Chris Coonan off to Manzoni. Chase came from DeLuca. Now Lowry will come from 3 deep. Couldn't quite impact the contest.
Just again out crumbing West Perth at these long kicks, Belly.
Rumble's kick, not great inside the centre square. A real scramble. And just feel momentum is with West Perth.
It is, but the Subi defence time and time again repelling West Perth's inside 50s.
In the goal, third man up. Kitchen cleverly in mid-air. Brown, Kerr. Short ball, knocked down by Menegola, who did well. Fights for it.
That's a good half.
Holds it up. And if he can win a whistle, which he has, Subiaco can reset. Fascinating finale to the 2015 season unfolding here now. Horsley and Nelson. Body on body. Good hands by Menegola. Off to Kitchen. An entry coming up for Subiaco. Yarran tries to deflect the ball to a teammate. Comes out the back. Kitchen. A little fumble. That was critical. Road couldn't control it. May have been held. Outside defensive 50. Black charges through. Hoskins and Lynch go to the ground. Ends up with Menegola. He's got Marnie over the top. 40 out. Tackle. The kick. Knock the 15. Brown momentarily had it. Subi with another chance. Menegola taken high. Wins a free kick. Just inside the 50. It was labour intensive, but Subiaco can finally go back and try to break this deadlock.
hasn't been pretty for Menegola. He's exerting an influence by brute force at the moment. Just hack kicks out of clearance situations. He earned a high free kick before. Now, I was watching him pre-match at this end of the ground, and he was kicking them 60 metres.
So the distance isn't an issue here. Sam Menegola, an outstanding second half to the season. The distance isn't an issue, and the radar is right on song. I'm sure more than just one or two AFL talent scouts will be monitoring the performance today of Sam Menegola.
On the back of his second half this year, he's been absolutely outstanding. Good size, pushes forward, kicks goals. He's definitely someone that's got a future at the AFL level, I believe, again.
Bartholomew gets it from Van Berlo. There's a bit happening at the base of these packs still.
155 possessions West Perth, 127 Subi. Yet Subi lead in this match.
Cunin out of the congestion. Rumble, a terrible bounce. Rodder has Patente cruising past. Nelson helps out. Patente ducked the head and should be penalised. Well,
he ducked. He's lucky there, Patente.
That, in AFL, it's a 50-metre penalty.
50 as well to compound the error.
I think if that's an AFL game, then he put his head down and it's a play on call.
It's actually called by a non-controlling umpire. So the umpire that was right there was prepared to let that one be called play on, and it was a non-controlling umpire that came in and called that.
Interesting to look at the replay. It'll be a goal to Patente, so back to parity in this grand final.
Goal to Patente, 50-metre penalty. Hopefully we've got a replay to have a look. As a little bit high, not even sure about the 50-metre either. So Patente a little bit lucky there, but certainly made the most of it.
Van Berlo across to Manzoni.
Might have been a little bit high having a look at that now, but
always contentious when a player ducks his head. Menegola drives it wide. Not to the advantage of Boland, but did enough against Keitel. But irrespective of these moments in the match, it just feels like neither side will get control of this game until deep into the contest.
There's some kids enjoying the action. It's a great game.
Seen some terrific contests this year on Macca's match day, but we are seeing a cracker at the moment. Terrific game of football so far.
Advantage paid, Phelan. Across to Robinson. Straightens up. Yaron snuck 2 or 3 metres clear of Adams, and that was all he needed.
It's been a great contest. Adams and Yaron, they're both really good athletes. Yaron's probably got Adams for speed. Adams has the power, though, in the marking contest, so Yaron's got to separate and lead at the ball kicker, just like he did then.
Kicked 3 goals in the second semi-final, did Shane Yaron. Won this afternoon. As we've seen, kicking to the right of screen from this distance isn't an issue. Wonderful contact off the boot. And again, Subiaco wrests control. Terrific crowd for the premiership decider. West Perth, Subiaco, lots of Falcons fans in the house, and the Lions, well, they've been to 9 grand finals this century. For 5 premierships, they're accustomed to success.
Yeah, 3 goals, 2 to Yaron, inside a half of footy. Very, very dangerous.
Wheeler, acrobatically, gets it down to Kitchen, then goes again.
There he is again.
Clancy's kick is a beauty, and the mark is exceptional by Yaron on the slide. He had to make metres late.
I'll tell you what he's really good at, those low marks. You see plenty of players, even at the AFL level, fumble those. He is rock solid, sliding in. Great kick from Wheeler.
Great kick from Wheeler. You said it, Belly. Just that ruck tap first, but then for Clancy Wheeler to follow up as a big ruckman, a spearing kick, 55 metres, really low and flat. And as a defender, Adams, there's nothing you can do to defend that.
Shane Yaron, you can sense his confidence. He's on the rise. From 45 out, they start applauding. He has 4.
And again, we spoke about it a little bit in the first quarter, Belly, but the concern for West Perth at the moment is that when Subiaco are going inside their forward 50, this game's getting played at West Perth's half. But when the game goes, well, the ball gets into Subiaco's forward 50, they're scoring 5 inside 50s in this quarter for 4 goals to Subiaco.
It's been generated by Clancy Wheeler, who again wins a clearance. Innovative outside the centre circles. Subiaco have amped up the pressure here. Kitchen takes Manzoni to the deck.
They've got a sniff of blood, Subi. There was a pack tackle then by the Lions midfielders.
Wheeler's playing out of his skin in this contest today.
Yeah, he's the one who's lifted a couple of clearances, second efforts, third efforts. That's what you want from a modern-day ruckman.
He's conceded more free kicks in the WAFL this season than anyone else, but when he's generating as much football as he is today, it's of secondary importance.
Just watching him at these stoppages, Belly, Wheeler, just running and jumping. You've got to get some body on him. Don't allow him to do this. Why isn't there a West Perth ruckman allowing him to jump up this football?
Ball slapped back to Wheeler. And uncontested mark. That was far too slack by the West Perth defence, and Boland couldn't believe his luck.
Well, Keitel just trailed in, didn't he? And the ball floated forward. Another clearance from Wheeler. So he followed up his good ruck work. He's been a real factor in this second quarter, and Keitel trailed in Boland who had the jump on him.
It's come in a rush for Subiaco in this second quarter. 40 metres. No angle.
Oh, no.
Did not hit that well at all.
So the dominating hit-outs at the moment, Subiaco, and Wheeler's obviously getting his hands on the football, and Delahunty, but they're not converting those into clearances. But in the last 7 or 8 minutes, certainly in this second quarter, they're making the most of those opportunities. Now actually starting to win a few clearances and go inside their forward 50.
Well, they rolled the dice there, West Perth. Keitel around his body, a panic kick. Lefanu almost to the 50. They're circling here.
He won a free kick there. Had to be a free kick.
Held a long time, wasn't he?
It was Toomey, I think.
And he's got a big set shot as well, Wade Toomey, so the distance won't bother him.
He's going to lay it off. Menegola to the pocket. Takes the mark, and they're cutting this West Perth defence to shreds in the last 10 minutes.
Unselfish. Not sure about it, though. I thought Toomey could have gone the distance. Now Menegola on a very tight angle. The breeze will help him here. Just hard at the right post. And let the breeze just push it through the goal face.
Has to do everything right. Menegola going for the conventional drop punt. Won't be a score, I don't think. Maybe just sneaking in for a point. But in hindsight, Toomey 50 out with the carry on the kicks in this second quarter that we've seen.
Gone a long way. I mean, it's always good, though, the unselfish nature of it.
But they are circling the Lions. Their body language is good. Rodder is up. Adams couldn't retrieve it. Heel, Halligan knocks it further afield. And DeLuca across to Horsley. Brilliant smother by Manzoni. Falcons under siege here. Adams going back into dangerous territory. Brown keeps it alive. And Shannon on the last line. Drives it wide for Lynch. Too much on the kick, though. It's coming back. Wheeler, the big man, off the side of the boot, almost ended up with Phelan. Goes again. The kick by Marnie. It's close. He snuck it home. And Subi is surging.
The game just swung on its head. Subiaco having a really good 8 or 9 minutes, starting to win some clearances, start to get the ball inside their forward 50. And in this quarter in particular, they are taking their opportunities. They're up and about the lines.
He's been neat, Marnie, today. Not a massive possession winner, but today at least, but everything he's done has been quality.
2013 Ferris and Best winner hits the scoreboard. Subiaco out by 20 points. Dangerous time here for the Falcons. And a real massive body's unable to extract the footy there. Ray Bartholomew, last to emerge. Nelson by hand. Lowry up the ground, going back with courage was Lockyer. So too was Rodder, who's feeling the effects of that. Both players get to their feet bravely immediately.
So brave. Left himself really exposed there, Lockyer, and Rodder was courageous as well.
Nearing half-time. It's a 20-point advantage. Cunin. Down to Van Berlo. Bounces off a couple. Nelson in turn to Bartholomew. Hoping for a mark. Rodder couldn't hang on. The Subiaco defence again worked their way out of trouble. Kitchen. Bouncing ball. Wheeler. Brilliantly done. That's superb. The big man putting his imprint on this game. Robinson. Hand passes at the feet of Toomey. Off a step. Lobs it to full forward. DeLuca at the spill. Gets past Wood. Morrow is there. Spun, left the footy behind. Wheeler's doing everything right at the moment, and still he goes. Got the hand pass intended for Robinson. Comes back to Boland. A bouncing ball goes all the way. What a passage of play!
Clancy Wheeler take a bow. Couple of really important contests. That one in the middle of the ground where he just came straight through, was clean, got himself involved again, and it was from that Subiaco were able to score another goal. And they've got 7 out of Boland and Yarran and a half, Subi.
Big numbers being racked up.
Call that one back.
So what does Bill Monahan do at half-time? Has to stop the bleeding to start with.
Quite demoralising for West Perth because their pressure's been outstanding. They've won clearances, they've won contested football, but they've just been hurt when Subiaco have gone inside their forward 50. Their defenders at the moment are under enormous pressure. West Perth.
Van Berlo taken high by Hoskins. Peeling off was Bartholomew. The sting has gone out of West Perth for the time being. Across to Fowler. Slow ball movement towards Rodder, who has to spoil. Kitchen works himself out of trouble. And it's out of bounds on the full. It will be a Subiaco football. Hoskins, the recipient. In fact, no, it's being handed to Shane Nelson. So either the Subiaco player was trying to hoodwink the boundary umpire, but irrespective, it's now in the hands of Nelson. Kerr from behind had to spoil. Lockyer had it, lost it.
They've won plenty of footy, the Falcons. Nelson's had 17, Manzoni 18. It's not their issue, it's the delivery inside 50 and the counter-attack from the Lions.
Shannon was lively, but there's no room to operate there. Long way to go in this one. West Perth renowned for their fighting qualities, but they're playing 2 matches in heat, back-to-back. Subiaco footy manning an unrealistic attempt in that contest. DeLuca.
Well, that's fortuitous. It'll pay off.
Robinson looks upfield. Kick not great, but he'll get it back to me from Boland. DeLuca. It's opening up for them. And there was no pressure on DeLuca on his left. Missed what he may well have converted.
That was ugly but dominant, if you know what I mean. Not one of those kicks actually went to a Subiaco player directly, but West Perth still couldn't lay a hand on it. It was persistence. When you can get West Perth out the back, this is where they've been quite vulnerable. The counter-attack from Subiaco again, and luckily for West Perth, they weren't able to take that opportunity.
Manzoni camped in front, Phelan, a disciplined spoil. Doing enough. What a quarter it's been by Subiaco and their key forwards, Yarran, Boland, and of course Clancy Wheeler in the ruck, just dominant. The hush goes around the ground after that inspired spell of footy. Menegola. That's the third man up.
Shepherding call, I think, yeah. Cunin will take the free kick.
Not irretrievable, this deficit, West Perth, but their methodology has to change or improve. Chris Cunin. Lefanu takes an uncontested mark. An engineering degree, so a bright future off the field. Drives this inside 50. West Perth well represented in that contest, but they couldn't take the mark.
The West Perth guys are saying, how about the mark? And I'm inclined to agree. I thought he had enough of that, Adams. Did it hit the ground right at the
Might
end?
have bounced off Keitel along the way, but it was a tough one to call. Halligan scrambles a
That's
kick.
a good mark.
Vice light grip, and when you've got the likes of Yarran and Boland coming together, as you said, Peter, for such a contribution in the first half, it leaves Bill Monahan with a few headaches.
He was strong there, Boland, wasn't he? Really presenting at the moment for Subiaco. Kicked a couple of goals in the first term.
They're a good partnership, aren't they? Boland, the bigger of the two players. I'm talking about Yarran. Yarran's just athleticism, always a threat.
Lining up for goal number 4.
On the approach, and he guides it home. Anything Shane can do. His partner in crime can match him.
That's 8 between Yarran and Boland. It's significant, isn't it? 8.5 from your two key forwards. Subi have been irrepressible in this second quarter, and it started with Wheeler in the ruck. And these two in the forward 50, West Perth can't stop them.
And it's been a remarkable transition because for the first part of this quarter, West Perth appeared to be pouring the pressure on Subiaco's defensive half.
Their pressure's been good, but they've allowed Subiaco to go inside their forward 50 under no pressure. That's been the big thing for me. So Shane Yarran's obviously kicked 4, Boland's kicked 4. Guys like Robertson and Toomey have had too much time to hit up targets inside their forward 50.
Time maybe for a late one. Another one. Menegola hooks it across his body. DeLuca launched himself. Yarran was the flyer. And Nelson kicking, hoping, but there's no one there. Guess who? He's doing it forward, back, into the middle. Clancy Wheeler.
I think their pressure's been good around the contest.
Around the contest has been good, absolutely.
It's been non-existent.
Make some metres. Now Yarran pushed out his opponent. It won't matter. It's a dominant first half by the reigning premiers, and they've taken a giant leap towards back-to-back premierships. It's a 33-point lead after a remarkable second quarter when their forwards and Clancy Wheeler completely dominated.
Huge quarter by Subiaco, 7 goals to 2. 7 goals from 13 inside 50 entries. When they're going inside their forward 50, they're looking dangerous. West Perth defenders are under too much pressure at the moment. Valley spoke about it. West Perth's pressure has been good around the stoppage, but once the ball spreads, Subiaco at the moment getting a lot of numbers out. And when they're linking up, when they're counter-attacking like they are, when they're going inside their forward 50, they've got too many good targets in there, especially Boland, who's been terrific, and Shane Yarran. 8 goals between them in the first half.
Yes, and a large part of the reason that Subiaco has a 33-point lead is due to this man talking to Cassie Silva.
Massive quarter.
Yep.
You're leading the way on the stats, but you've done a massive job. What was the other message at quarter time to get you guys up there?
Look, they were just really good in their contested ball early. Like, they were beating us at stoppages, and just as a midfield, we're just trying to lock them down on that and just try and push forward as much as we could. So.
And how are you guys going to bring it home?
Look, there's a long way to go. There's another whole half. West Perth, the quality side. So we just got to be on our game for the rest of the game. So
good luck.
Thanks very much.
Clancy Wheeler, what a first 60 minutes of this 2015 grand final he has played, helping his side establish a 33-point lead as we continue a huge month of footy on 7. Tomorrow night, of course, it is Brownlow Medal night. Half-time in the 2015 WAFL grand final, and Subiaco in the second quarter, outstanding. West Perth, Michael Lowry early on damaging, but then the key forwards for the Lions, Boland, Yarran, outstanding. And a 7-goal-to-2 second term gives the reigning premiers a 33-point advantage It was a scintillating 30 minutes of footy from the Lions.
It was plenty of possession for the Falcons. You look at Nelson there with 19, Manzoni 18. Winning the footy hasn't been the issue. It's been the delivery inside 50, and particularly for Subi, looking so dangerous in open play. That slingshot footy coming into the match. We're talking about Rodder and Lowry. Well, it's been the two up the other end in Yaron and also the big fella Boland. 8 goals to the half, Andrew Embley.
You make a really good point there, Bally. And it's obviously been Boland and Yarry, 8 goals between them. And then you have a look at Lowry and Rodder. They've kicked 1 goal between them. West Perth are finding the football. They're going inside their forward 50. But from that, I just feel like Subiaco's pressure has been really good. And then from the rebound, their counter-attack is really catching West Perth out.
Some of the worrying signs for West Perth appear to be, as you said, once Subiaco control the football from the centre line onwards, they can pick apart the West Perth defence pretty easily.
One of the most damning sequences in the game was actually when they were really messy moving it forward, Subi. Still West Perth couldn't get their hands on the footy. Here's Yaron early, kept it really low. That's a clever kick because there is a breeze that he was kicking into there. Started very, very well. He should have actually had 5 or 6 to the half. You take 4 in a grand final any old day. And you see a beautiful kick from Shannon to Lowry. And wasn't this a terrific kick from the West Perth spearhead? We saw a goal to Adams in the second quarter. In the first quarter as well, but for a long time it was just Subi's ascendancy in that second quarter, 7 goals to 2.
Andrew Strike, he really did get West Perth moving in that opening quarter, kicking a couple of goals and keeping them in the contest.
He's a very good player, had some experience at the AFL level. At the West Coast Eagles, we know that. He is that player that will run and carry him. Because he uses the football so well, he gains a lot of metres. We saw him kick a really good goal as well in this game. But he needs a few teammates around him at the moment. Yes, Black and Nelson are finding some football, but again, on the counter-attack, this is where Subiaco are really hurting them. And again, when you put the midfielders under no pressure, it's making it very difficult for the West Perth defenders to actually defend Belly.
Yeah, here's Toomey, and look at Yaron here, just trailing in the other key forward. He's very good low down, isn't he? He's a great athlete, and he got confident with his goal scoring in the second quarter. That's outside 50, and look how far this ball sails into the crowd.
53 goals for the season for Shane Yaron, the Bernie Naylor medalist. Talk over the past couple of seasons whether he will be picked up by an AFL club, that is yet to be seen. This man, Andrew Strike, has been at the West Coast Eagles, played 13 games for them. The silk in front of goals is what they miss.
Unfortunately for Striker, he played very well, but he's just gone out, drifted out of the game in the second half of that second quarter. They need him up and about. He's been their most damaging player. He doesn't accumulate as much as the ball as Nelson and Black and Manzoni, but he's more damaging with that right boot.
In short, is there a way back for West Perth from here?
There is, but it's highly unlikely. I mean, Subiaco so rested. They've had the perfect run in. They've got a premiership that they can almost smell. I'd be really surprised if they give up the advantage now.
So it is a 33-point lead to Subiaco over West Perth. The Lions chasing back-to-back premierships. It's a big day for the Lions, and even bigger now with Cassie Silver about to be joined by a special guest for a special presentation.
Thanks, Mark. I'm down here with Hayden Groves from Rewa. Now, it's pretty good to kick a goal, but to make some money out of it, goal of the year is going to Shane Yaron this year.
And what a sensational goal it was, Cassie. Incredible. What a talent some of these young men have to be able to work so hard each and every day. It looks like they've kicked a miraculous goal, but it's all that background work that makes it so miraculous.
Now, Shane obviously can't accept it, so we've got Mark Lawrence here down here to accept on his behalf. I mean, it's a great feeling, isn't it?
It is a great feeling, and I'm sure Shane will be wrapped. I mean, he's kicked a couple of goals today, but he's missed a couple of easy ones. He gets the most difficult, and it's great to see him win the goal of the year from a mid-air soccer shot, so it was terrific.
And let's have a look at this check. So it's $5,000 from Rewa for goal of the year going to Shane. Hopefully he can kick a couple more and bring it home. So and what is this going to go to? Do we know, Mark, where this money will go with the club?
Oh, it'll go to Shane Yaron, and goal of the year. He's got a new baby as well, so I'm sure he can buy some baby furniture or something like that with it. And I'd like to thank Rewa.com very much for the award for Shane, and I'll make sure I'll give it to him after the game when we're having a cold frothy. Yeah.
Hopefully he can kick a couple more. That's great. Over to Nick.
Yeah, thanks, Cassie. I'm here with Ben Saunders and Nicole Marino from AHG. Ben, it's taken out the AHG Mark of the Year. Ben, talk us through the mark, mate. Way back in the first derby, what do you remember of it?
Not a lot, really. I just flew early and then got a little boost from Brocky and then stuck one hand out and it stuck.
Yeah, on top of Brock O'Brien, obviously, and he's had a bit to say afterwards.
Yeah, I don't think he was too happy about it, but yeah, thanks to Brock for the little boost and might even buy him a beer.
And the highlight of the year, of course, out with a hamstring injury since about round 7 or 8. How's it going, and will you be right for pre-season?
Yeah, no, hamstring's good now, so I got back just in time for finals, but we didn't make it, which was a bit disappointing. But yeah, so I'll be around to go next year.
Yeah. And Nicole, if you'd like to present Ben with the cheque.
Sure, no worries. Congratulations, Ben. Great mark.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right, thanks very much, Ben. We'll let him go put that in his oversized wallet, and back to you, Mark.
Good on you, Nick, and congratulations to Shane Yarran and Ben Saunders. They were a couple of great moments of season 2015.
Well done, Shane Yarran. Well done, Ben Saunders. Yes, nothing like a big cheque, is there, Mark Reddings?
Yes, plenty more to come on Macca's Matchday Grand Final edition, of course. The AFL Grand Final, the West Coast Eagles to take on Hawthorn. West Coast, their fourth premiership they're chasing from 6 attempts, and the Hawks, well, a three-peat potentially on the horizon for them. You'll see it all on 7 next week. Time here, a 33-point lead to Subiaco over West Perth for the right to hold off the 2015 premiership. A lot has to go wrong for Subiaco from here on in, and conversely, West Perth have to really change momentum in a hurry.
Yeah, they've just got to match Subi on the outside. Easier said than done. Subi running on top of the ground, well rested. I can't see West Perth getting back into this one, although you never know, Billy Monahan might be able to swing a few moves.
Well, AHG have been great supporters of footy in Western Australia this year through our 7 broadcasts of the WAFL. Nick Wren is downstairs with another special guest.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. I'm down here once again with Nicole Marino from ASG and Penelope Riley, who's come to the footy today and won herself a brand new Holden Cruise. First of all, Nicole, do you want to tell us a little bit about the giveaway? AHG, obviously a massive supporter of the WAFL.
Yeah, we're big supporters of WA football, and we're proud to give out this Holden Cruise today. Penelope guessed almost the right number, Penelope. Very close. Very close. It was 68, and she guessed 64, so very close to that. She had to pre-purchase the tickets, so well done to Penelope. On behalf of AHG, congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much, Nicole. It was absolutely wonderful surprise, and I just feel very privileged. It's very, very kind of AHG and WAFL to give a prize like this, and I just feel wonderful that I've won it.
What a great winner.
And Penelope, how will you be enjoying your new car?
Oh, I will be using it every day of my life, I'm sure. I love black cars.
Thank you very much, Penelope. Thank you, Nicole, and back up to you, boys.
Well, there's a very happy winner. Congratulations to Penelope, to Nick from AHG and to Nick Wren for their wonderful support of football in 2015. Speaking of which, there's a milestone for the Little Leaguers, and Cassie Silver can tell us more about that.
Yes, I'm down here with Alan Stiles and a very, very special little footballer. Connor has just been named, let me get this right, the 200,000 Little Leaguer for Perth. Congratulations. How do you feel about that?
Oh, pretty happy. It's a good achievement, and yeah, it's a bit lucky.
Fabulous. And Alan, I believe you've got something special to give to Connor?
Yeah, especially for Connor. On behalf of Ace and Grand Cinemas, thank you this little token for our appreciation iPad Mini. Hope you have a good time with it, and well done, and keep up the good work.
Thanks so much for that. Now, all we need is for Subi to bring it home. You think they can?
Yeah, it'd be good for Subi to win today. Yeah, big game to come. Still half to go.
You hopefully want to get in with the big boys eventually?
Yeah, it'd be, yeah.
Fabulous. Thanks so much for that, Alan. Back to you, boys.
Thanks, Cassie, and great to see Chubby Stiles, a long-suffering Perth man as well, out there enjoying the Little League, as we are as well, on this grand final edition of the WAFL in 2015. West Perth and Subiaco, 33 points to lead in this one. And earlier today, a couple of premierships were run and won, and in the Ready-Med Colts, the Tigers, 14-17 to your boys. 4 goals, 8. Claremont convincing winners.
Big win there by the Claremont Football Club. They've got a very good junior development group coming through, as does Swan District, but not sure how many Colts Grand Finals Claremont have won, but I reckon they've won a few in their time. Skeet.
Certainly have. Waterman with 3 goals there, a famous name in WA footy. And in the reserves, well, Peter Bell's old club, Sandover Medal, a dominant season for them, capped off with a victory over Swan Districts. They were terrific in running up big winners there.
Red hot favourites going into that match. That's a massive win. A bit spiteful this game. We saw a bit of that while we were preparing for the league game, and there was a few reports and a lot of 50-metre penalties. South Fremantle running out comfortable victors there against Swannies.
So 2 premierships have been decided, 1 yet to come. Subiaco in control at half-time as they make their way back onto Domain Stadium. We, of course, prepare for another massive grand final on 7 Sport. It's a huge mountain to climb for West Perth. Down by 33 points. They started brightly. Andrew Strike involved early. Big fly from Cody Manning. But then it was the likes of Sam Menegola hitting the scoreboard, and Clancy Wheeler just generating so much football for the forwards. The likes of Shane Yarran and his cohort in Matt Boland damaging, and it's a 33-point lead to the Lions. Just in some AFL news for West Coast Eagles supporters, tomorrow and Tuesday there are 2 open sessions here at Domain Stadium. 1:30 tomorrow, of course, being a public holiday, and on Tuesday it's a 10:20 a.m. training session. Should be huge crowds here for that, and then the team flies out from Melbourne on the Thursday. And of course you can now download the WAFL app for all the information with regards to the AHG Mark of the Year, the Rewa.com Goal of the Year, and of course you can check out all the latest stats and some information coming through from the Fremantle Dockers as well. Just in addition to what happened on Friday night, Nat Fyfe will undergo minor surgery this week after fracturing the fibula in his left leg in the first quarter of that contest. So it's a very brave effort for him to play out the rest of that game.
Well, that's remarkable. He had that shin issue, but that's a broken leg. So let me put that into perspective. He's been one of the best players in the game with a broken leg. Extraordinary courage there from Nat Fyfe. Billy Monahan, Andrew, would have said, just stick at it. We're not going to ping back this lead in the third quarter. Get to within 3 goals by 3-quarter time, and then we're on.
You're right, Belly. Yeah, actually have a look at the disposals. West Perth have had 184 to Subiaco's 169, and West Perth actually lead the inside 50s 30-24. But when the ball have gone in there, Subiaco's pressure to actually rebound has been really good. Lowry and Rodder probably haven't provided that target like Boland and Shane Yarran have, and we know how good Subiaco are. They force you into that turnover, and then that rebound 50 transition has been terrific so far. They go inside their forward 50. They've got options in there, and we certainly saw in that second quarter, though, they really started to get their hands on the football, and their clearance work was really good. So West Perth just have to be mindful of that, but they are winning enough football. So if they can just tidy up their forward line, get some good options in there, they might be able to just reduce this margin at 3-quarter time.
Bit by bit. That's the way they've got to approach it, contest by contest, and just get close enough that Subi start to get nervous.
This is the quarter that West Perth do have to make a statement. Their season clearly on the line right now. A 33-point lead. Glorious spring afternoon in Perth at the end of a triple header of footy here in the West. And the third quarter on Macca's match day is underway. Coonan and Wheeler. Lowry inside the centre square. An early touch, an early mark by Patente. Deep entry. Rodder. Lost rumble. Impossible angle. Did a pretty good job to score from there.
Well, that's the first surprise of the second half. Lowry starting in the centre square for West Perth.
Bill Monahan just mixing things up. Lafanu couldn't take the mark. Manzoni with some deft footwork. Close to the boundary line, hooks it to full forward. Lions defence has been terrific. Horsley, not much on that. Patente, always dangerous. Chipping football's not good. Came in board, the idea was right, but the execution not. And Robinson can clear for the Lions. Heads out wide to Toomey.
Been pretty good, Toomey. Had a good first half.
Down the line, Lockyer, just inside the field of play. Early stages, third quarter. Subiaco win it from Menegola off the hands of the pack. In the Boland direction, Keitel decisively over the top. Bill Monahan with plenty on his plate. Impressive last week against East Perth, but I don't think anybody was under the misapprehension that Subiaco were anything but the team to beat this season with a 17-3 record. Worthington close to the line. Manning pressures him.
I reckon I've got Manning and Fowler confused a few times this afternoon, so my apologies to the boys and their families. Do look a little similar. Manning's got the big sleeve.
Tattoo, you mean?
Yep.
Indeed. We'll keep an eye out for that. Coonan knocks it forward. Black. Shut down brilliantly. Close to the boundary line by Hancock. And the question is whether West Perth can generate enough run in the second half. As I said, it's been a warm afternoon. Game played at a frenetic pace early.
It's a big ground too, Domain Stadium. Both teams would not be used to playing on a ground this big, so you would expect that in the second half this game is really going to open up. And the fact that Subiaco have had an ideal preparation heading into this grand final, it may just suit them a little bit more.
Inside 50 for West Perth. Need a score to be generated, not to be. Kitchen scrambling kick. Brown is in the way. Bit of airtime with that, but Shannon in front. Heads in the Manning direction. He takes the mark. 45 out. As we've seen from this range, it's not beyond the realms.
Used his body there really well, Manning. Just protected the space, put some good body on, and really important that he can go back and kick this one.
From inside 50, massive kick. Hangs it out to the right and never looks like bending back.
Stating the obvious, West Perth really need the first one, and there was a good opportunity, unfortunately, for Manning. Never really looked likely.
Just feel that opening goal, if it was to be West Perth, might generate something in that side. At the moment, perhaps the belief isn't quite there. Heel, close to the boundary line, takes the mark, gives it off to Toomey. Again, it opens up. Marnie, Menegola, metres in the clear with a bounce, with the forward streaming back. Yaron up and down, and the mark is paid. The vertical leap was always going to trouble Marcus Adams.
That's the snapshot of the afternoon. Just a great kick in, first of all, from Subi, and then quick transference to the footy, and Menegola knew that he had Yaron goal side. If it wasn't Yaron, there was another teammate further afield.
Don't like this matchup with Adams on Yaron. Yaron, just his agility at the moment. He's just so smart, and he's really leading up with the ball carrier. But again, as you said, Belly, just that transition, that counter-attack, and West Perth is losing their structure behind the football. It's causing West Perth a lot of problems at the moment.
First time forward in this quarter for the Lions. And Shane Yaron has 4 goals next to his name. He could easily have 7, potentially 8 goals. There have been some gilt-edged chances that he might look back on. Maybe not with regret if they win the premiership, but he certainly finds himself in goal-scoring positions.
Could be playing himself onto an AFL list as well.
Strike, Toomey over the top.
That touch
might be a free kick, I think. I'm not sure. I mean, who did it touch?
Apparently there was a hand in there.
Okay.
Jared Schofield, he forwent the opportunity to coach Western Australia this season to concentrate, he said, on achieving back-to-back premierships, or certainly have a successful season. That is now official. It's been a great season for Subiaco. They're a long way towards winning consecutive flags. Bartholomew inside the square. Robinson tackle.
Well done, Manning.
Dispossessed. And it was a timely tackle. Gives it off to Strike. A deep ball. Rotter there at the back. Potente. Rasmussen in doubt. Scrambles the ball. And it works its way home.
Perfect start by West Perth, and it was Cody Manning's tackle in the middle of the ground. Terrific tackle, great pressure. And from that, West Perth were able to go inside there, forward 50, and Rasmussen kicks the first goal for the Falcons in the third quarter. An important goal at that too.
Pulls the margin back to 26 points. Early stages, third quarter. That goal has come West Perth's way. Can they build on that? Menegola, as so often is done today, hands on the ball first. Phelan gave it up. Black taken to ground by Hancock.
Van Berlo's been very good in close. He's up to 11 contested possessions and 8 clearances. He's been really strong through the body and got his hands free to give out little handballs. Indigestion.
Delahunty in the ruck. Kick was smothered. Really tough to earn a possession here, but Subiaco needs to scramble it to the 50. To Luca. Has got some wheels. Unfortunately left the ball behind. Strikes kick. It was a tumbler, but it was effective because West Perth were under duress there.
I think if anything, Yaron got in the way then and got DeLuca into two minds.
26 points, still close enough West Perth. In striking distance. Hancock, though, from the restart. Sends a high ball. Brilliantly done by Strike. Won the footy. Gets the kick away. Shannon with the pressure, the tackle. And then he wins it superbly. Van Berlo stripped of it. West Perth just sensing they might have a chance to get back into this contest. Rasmussen, though, overruns it. Menegola doesn't. And then he punches it out wide in the direction of Wood. Hand pass close to the line. Black wants to deliver it. Umpire happy to throw it back in. Of course, haven't forgotten about the Kennards Hire footy trivia for Andrew Embley and Peter Bell. Which one of the following members of the WA 200 Club did not play for either of these sides? Ali Pickett, Bill Monahan, Derek Kickett, and going back a long way, Billy Valley.
Frankie's brother, is it?
Not quite. Very good run with though, Bill Valley.
Alistair Pickett did. Bill Monahan did. Not sure about Bill Valley.
Kick from the stoppage by Phelan. Sucked away by Morrow. West Perth have to hold here. Shannon, hand pass out wide. Subi regain control. Menegola, just a hurried ball, but a dangerous one through the hands of Boland. Yaron, in he went. Crunch, Keitel, gave it straight up. A gift. Halligan. Couldn't have dreamed of anything better.
All jarred loose out of the contest. Have a look at this bump from Shane Yaron.
It was a hand pass by Keitel.
Doesn't get a stat for it, but just that forward line pressure, that's what you love. Jared Schofield would be wrapped with that. And Halligan kicks the goal, goes straight to Shane Yaron.
Shane Yaron's gone deep, opposed to Adams. Why wouldn't he give him some space?
Back outside 5 goals, Delahunty in the ruck. Worked forward by Nelson by hand. Kennedy. Halligan, the last goal kicker. They're building again. Delahunty's ball partially smothered. Morrow knocks it forward. Black in support. Road. Dumped. Got the kick away. Marnie's been busy in this third quarter. Another dangerous footy for the West Perth defence. Wood at the back. Tight angle. Yaron in the goal square. And he has 5.
West Perth just don't seem to have the match-up for Shane Yaron. Adam's been outstanding all season, but at the moment, Yaron's agility is just moving around this forward line. We saw him set up a goal just before with that pressure to Halligan. Now he gets himself on the scoreboard again. That's his 5th, and certainly could have kicked 7 or 8 at the moment.
Getting out of control now for West Perth. 38 points the margin. Nelson wholeheartedly at the football. On his left. In front, Lockyer. Manning just a metre or 2 behind.
Belly, I've been really watching the matchup really closely between Hancock and Aaron Black. Hancock's been outstanding. Blackie's averaged 28 disposals for the year, and what's he up to at the moment? 12 disposals Aaron Black has had, so Hancock has certainly got the better of him.
As if on cue, Aaron Black, possession 13, terrific kick, silver service. Rasmussen, Bartholomew, probing ball. And Rodder has had a few half chances today, hasn't been able to grasp them, and there was another case in point. And a hazy feel around Subiaco at the moment. There is a bushfire, we believe, which is causing this, so hence certainly at the ground. May not be as obvious on your television screens, but very much a haze around this metropolitan area at the moment. It's a big dark cloud over West Perth as we speak as well. Lockyer gives it to Kennedy and turn to Kitchen. Run and carry. Lockyer provides, and Boland will come from the angle. Mark dropped by Morrow, but he did well to halve the contest. Subiaco on the advance. They've got 2 forward of the ball inside 50. Doesn't get that far. Kerr takes the mark. But they're only a moment or two again from breaking the Falcons' defence. Bartholomew. Laurie caught behind. Lockyer played it well. And once again, Subiaco holding their own inside defensive 50. So the answer is about to be revealed. Who we...
Right, I'm going to go with D, Bill Valley. People might be laughing at me at home, but I'm sure I've seen Derek kick it in a West Perth jumper. Oh, Billy Monahan.
Did not play for Subiaco or West Perth. Bouncing ball, Wood. Clever. Keitel. And across to Adams. Kerr stands, marks. And they simply have to get on their bikes here, the Falcons. Create some scoreboard pressure. Lowry should mark this. Subi's defence sagged off him.
It's a mark.
Manzoni wants to take the advantage, but given it's been paid a mark, surely he knows the rules.
He was hoping that it was a free kick and not a mark. Treat Manzoni.
Very similar position to which Lowry threaded one early in the game. A 37-point deficit doesn't make anywhere near as good contact on this occasion.
He had a big prelim last week, Lowry, but just hasn't had the opportunities today. Rubble's just done an outstanding job on him. And that's really been the difference, hasn't it, Belly? Grotto and Lowry compared to Boland and Shane Yarran.
Morrow, the spoil comes to Kitchen. Subi can break again, and Marnie's been on the end of a few of this ball movement, which is so slick. Inboard they head. Toomey was an instigator. Phelan with a long ball. DeLuca is there. Yarran sweating off the contest. But it's the small forward who wants to get a piece of the action now as well.
Just no answer to this counter-attack. We've been saying it for most of the afternoon, but their transition is too good at the moment, Subiaco. They maintain possession of the football, and that long kick going in, their forwards are high, they're streaming back to goals. And time again, the West Perth defenders are just getting caught out of position.
Relatively quiet afternoon so far for Chris DeLuca. But from straight in front, he had some more pain for the Falcons.
Been important, DeLuca. He's not a big numbers type of guy, but he puts on good forward pressure, and he's an integral part of that Subiaco forward line.
Blowout on the horizon, so too the smoke of the haze because of prescribed burning in the metro area. 42 points. Subiaco to the good. Adams has been put into the ruck. Menegola off to Hoskins. Taken down by Van Berlo. But it's one-way traffic. Wheeler. Hand pass to the 50. Intercepted by Rode. Puts pressure on Black, who has to sprawl. Menegola comes up with it. Sweeping hand pass. Accommodates Phelan on the half volley. Toe pokes it. Did enough, by the way. Good tackle, though, by Tedesco. And he's been rewarded. West Perth can sweep it away. Strike. Searching for Lynch. Last year's Ferris and Best winner. Outstanding overhead. It's an open forward line, and it's a 50-metre penalty, which helps a whole lot.
It's a really good mark from Lynch. And one of the Subiaco players,
Lee Fanu, I think it was.
Lee Fanu, just got a little too close to Lynch as he shaped the play on. Almost did it again. Lee Fanu.
On his 21st birthday, Lynch guides one home. .36 points the margin. And West Perth just staying in this contest.
Adams gone into the ruck for West Perth.
Opposed to Wheeler. And Adams knocks it to the advantage of Van Berlo. Hand pass, missed the target. Adams has one arm pinned. Still got the hand pass away in the end. Ball's won by Kennedy. Scrambles the ball to half forward, but Brown's in the way.
Shows some good strength there, Adams. He was really pinned and was just able to show brute strength just to be able to get that handball out.
Searching for Patente. Lockyer is taken to ground. Umpire unable to tell whether the ball was pinned or whether it was in fact dived upon and then dragged back in.
And what you didn't see there from Lockyer was he left his man 40 metres behind him to go and commit to Patente, who was in space.
Here's Toomey.
He's had a big afternoon, Toomey. Right up there in the best players on the ground.
Up to 18 disposals.
Hasn't wasted too many.
High ball in the bowling direction. Keitel from behind at the spill. Robinson. Yaron, an awkward bounce. With him is Manning. Deflects it down to strike. Close to the line is Keitel when he tumbles over. Subiaco. Again, once they get the ball in hand, surging forward, the numbers bob up out of nowhere.
And looks like Cody Manning has now gone to the dangerous Shane Yaron.
As I say, the horse may well have truly bolted, unfortunately, for West Perth. 36 points to margin. Van Berlo hands it to Road. Heading wide, Rumble just cautiously waiting for the bounce.
Time's on their side now, isn't it, for Subi? This is West Perth's last 10 minutes or so with the aid of the breeze. And then Subi will be kicking with it.
Fair to say they have to kick a couple of goals to bring the margin back to 4 by three-quarter time, and then at least Bill Monaghan can give his Chargers some belief, some hope. Without hope, as we know, footy matches can really blow out in a hurry.
Great kick.
Terrific kick inboard to Luca. Released on his left side. He might go all the way. Has a bounce. Sizes them up. Doesn't make great contact. Yaron's there. He's held. And it's been seen. No, it's a West
the other way. Non-controlling umpire has seen something.
Well, what we saw there was Yaron being grabbed by the jumper, but maybe we're watching the wrong passage of play. Down the line, the kick goes Rasmussen. With that injured ankle, it's been a brave performance to even get out there. There's a bit happening in the centre of the square. It's
going Subi's way. Umpire's already motioning for Subi's way. Not sure what happened there, but it's on. Patente's involved. Menegola's involved.
And so too.
And Boland's involved now.
Is Boland, importantly, because he has the footy in his hand. Interesting, it was out of nowhere, like a
spot fire, yeah.
Like Olympic wrestling inside the centre square. Meanwhile, Subiaco with an opportunity, and Boland with an opportunity to put through his 5th of the afternoon. The two forwards, they've been irrepressible today. And Boland's kick is wonderful. Sweet contact. Subiaco close in on back-to-back flags. Would hate to be in charge of awarding the Simpson Medal this afternoon.
Well, 10 goals between those two. They're going to be up in the running, don't they? And they've been the difference. Boland and Yaron just causing massive headaches for the West Perth defenders. Free kick to West Perth.
Centre square infringement, I gather. Coonan. It's a massive mountain now for West Perth. They've been gallant for the first quarter, but after which Subiaco have asserted their authority. Win the footy. Rodder gets a hand in, sliding. No whistle. Patente with the tackle. Gathered by Hancock. Ex-Shark accelerates. Lost it. Ends up with Nelson. In turn, Manzoni. And West Perth creating something themselves here. Inside 50. Poor ball.
He's been brilliant.
Kerr was the target.
Lockyer's been... Is it Lockyer? Or
it is Lockyer.
Yes, this time. They tricked me many times, those two. He's been really good.
Delivery was poor. There's two Lions on the outer side. Menegola takes and he wants to use the corridor. Terrific ball for Phelan. West Perth players in the vicinity, but they had no chance to shut that movement down, and they break. Again, prepared to come inboard Wheeler. Bit of fatigue setting in here, but the big man releases. Pamani to the teeth of full forward, and Boland. Use of the body outstanding. Bit happening after that contest as well.
50 metres here maybe coming up. Yeah, 50 metres. The umpires, I missed what happened there, just a bit of a a shove after the mark, Drew.
Yeah, just got hit as we have a look at the replay right here. Boland just one-on-one, just too strong. And just gets a clip coming through.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that's quite dangerous.
Goal number 6 for Boland. And he puts it almost out of the ground.
6 goals from Big Boland. He comes from the field for a well-earned break, and it was clumsy at best from Tedesco. As we watch here, Boland had completed the mark, beat Keitel, and sort of led with that knee for a little bit longer than what was necessary, I would have thought.
Shades of frustration for the Falcons nearing three-quarter time. This game getting right away from them now. 48 points. Kiernan looking for Van Berlo. They've done enough with the stoppages, but once the ball's out in the open, West Perth have been sliced apart. Kitchen, the outside of his boot. Brown, straight to Robinson. In turn, Kitchen. Halligan. And now Wheeler. Clancy, the ruckman. He moves like a rover. And he drives home another one. Celebration for Subi into full swing.
Everyone weighing in now. Wheeler, who really set Subi up in that second quarter. That was a great goal. Wheeled onto the right foot, pardon the pun, and everyone's getting in on the action.
Bill Monahan just trying everything at the moment. Adams has gone from full back into the ruck. Now he's at full forward. Rodder, who started forward, has gone to centre half back. He looks like he's starting there and pushing through. So just trying to create something at the moment, the Falcons.
What an awesome performance it's been by Subiaco. Brown to Desco. Road receives, hand pass inboard at the feet of Van Berlo. And now it's coming back with a rush. Kitchen by hand to Toomey, in turn to Wheeler. The big man from behind is cut down. And Brown kicks to the wing. Rodder's had a rough old day. Nothing's worked for him. Nothing stuck. And there was another case in point.
Bally, Jared Schofield needs to take a lot of credit for this. Subiaco are such a well-drilled team. Defensively, they are so good. They force you into the turnover and they hurt you on the counter-attack, and we've just seen that this afternoon. They've been terrific. The best defensive team in the competition, and unfortunately for West Perth today, they just haven't been able to get through them whatsoever.
Apart from the Simpson Medal being decided this afternoon, you can vote now on the WAFL app for your China Southern Airlines Player of the Day results at full time as Tedesco ducks under a tackle. Yaron taken by Manning. Ditto Menegola afforded ample time to dispose of it. West Perth, last line of defence. Morrow gets it back to Shannon. Off a step, kicks for distance. And Fowler on the slide couldn't take the mark. A sprawling effort though it was, but must be a nice time as a coach as Jared Schofield sits there to.
When you're a coach, you think this game's not in the bag. You know, you're thinking West Perth can kick 12 in a row here. That's just a coach's mentality.
Absolutely, but surely he realises that a premiership is only 30 plus minutes away, all things being equal. Long ball. Adams with some real distance on the kick. Worthington went the spoil, and Rodder, once again, he must throw his head back in despair at every half moment. Every half chance has evaded him this afternoon.
Worthington was very good then too. Just got body early and forced Rodder under the football. Just did enough to get that ball spoiled out of bounds.
Almost 31 minutes played in this third quarter. It's the Lions by 54.
Great hands.
Toomey, the receiver. Bartholomew showing too much of the football. Potente on a collision course. Comes back to Bartholomew, feeds it to Morrow. Hurried kick, dumped after he disposed of it. Advantage should be paid here. Manzoni.
Oh, great play there, Worthington.
And the umpires are looking at each other at the moment. I'm not really quite sure
Advantage was paid,
what's going on. Okay.
Advantage was taken, and as a result, the smother was deemed part of the continuation. And a point result.
Look at Menegola, how much space he has right now.
Delahunty, well, That kick, if it was on target, would have sent Subiaco away again.
And he's saying, is there any danger? Boys, you can see me right in the centre corridor with no one within 50 metres.
They're the sort of comments you can make at your post-match celebrations once you have
you got a medallion around your neck.
Absolutely. 24 scoring shots to 16. It's been dominant after quarter time. Nelson into the path of Fowler. Overrunning the football was Manzoni. With him is Robinson. They halve the contest. The siren not far away, 32 minutes into this third.
China Airlines Southern Player of the Day, Belly. Will be quite difficult because Subiaco have had a lot of match winners this afternoon.
Well, with this sort of margin in a grand final, it's going to take an extraordinary effort for a West Perth player to be in the top four. And Nelson's won a lot of footy, 27 disposals, 15 contested, 7 clearances, but even those sort of numbers I don't think are going to force your way into one of the contenders.
He does rack up some numbers, doesn't he? 27 today.
He works so hard, he runs so hard.
Had 43 disposals against Subiaco back in round 4, but all to no avail this afternoon. Is there time for a late one? Horsley, loose men everywhere. Wood is one of those, can take it and go. And he chooses not to.
Well, he should go back and kick the goal now because it's very late in the quarter. You don't know what the siren's going to do. You don't want it to go off while you're disposing of the footy. Go back, take your time, put another one past the keeper.
25 goals for the season. Wood, clever ball, takes something off the kick. All the West Perth defenders had sagged off.
They're at sea at the moment, the West Perth defenders. They've just lost concentration. And
Halligan,
Bill Mollahan will be just tearing his hair out at the moment.
A resigned feeling, and yet again Subiaco with a chance to add after a quarter-time siren. 30 minutes out from another premiership. Halligan from almost point-blank range. And they head towards the goal kicker. They embrace. They know that another premiership is just minutes away. A dominant third quarter. And Subiaco in the WAFL Grand Final of 2015 have blown this game wide open. It's a 59-point margin and more pain in the last potentially to come for West Perth on Macca's match day. It's been a day of the champions and the challengers. Subiaco, Shane Yarran with the first of the day. But it was an arm wrestle in the opening quarter. The likes of Lowry stepping up and threading the needle to get the Falcons fans up and about. Goal of the grand final, no doubt. Marcus Adams, tight angle, and West Perth had a sense they were in this contest. In the second quarter, though, it changed dramatically. The two forwards for Subiaco, Shane Yarran hitting the scoreboard regularly. And the supply was outstanding. Clancy Wheeler, Marty, all moving forward and causing havoc in the West Perth defence. Boland, an afternoon developing for him as well. A 33-point half-time lead. Rasmussen, remarkable recovery just to play in this game despite the ankle injury, gave West Perth some hope. But Yarran charging in, Keitel gave it up. Halligan with a couple in the third quarter that Subiaco could sense back-to-back premierships. Yarran in the goal square. A day out for him with 5 goals. Boland has 6. The margin has blown out to 59 points.
14 goals to 4 after quarter time, Belly. The first quarter was good, but since then, Subiaco have been dominant. Their clearance work, they forced West Perth into that turnover, and then from that, their counter-attack to go inside their forward 50. Their forwards are high, just catching the West Perth defenders out the back. That's been the game for me. Menegola, Kitchen, Toomey. Subiaco have just had too many players today that are finding the football. And again, as we've mentioned all day, going inside their forward 50, just putting the West Perth defenders under heaps of pressure.
And Bill Monahan has the West Perth players in tight for a long huddle, and he'll be just saying, play it out, play it out. Don't let this margin blow out anymore, but I'm not confident that that's not going to eventuate.
Yes, tough address to make at three-quarter time. Cassie Silver is with Bill.
Bill, that was the last pep talk for the season. What did you tell the boys?
Oh, look, they've been fantastic all year, and I just said it'd be wrong to go out in a whimper. Just have a crack, take the game on, you know. It's hard to get to the grand final day, and today we've been disappointing, or Subi have been clearly better than us, and, you know, let's not just go out with a whimper.
Good luck.
All right, thank you.
Yes, full of class, Bill Monahan. Not much more you could say in that situation.
Yeah, pretty philosophical about it, but he's right. They've been gallant all year, or better than gallant. He would have expected more today. The players would have expected more, but he is hoping they have a crack in this last quarter and get a bit of reward on the scoreboard.
Subiaco 30 minutes away from completing the rare honour of back-to-back WAFL premierships. Mind you, they had a three-peat not so long ago, so this club is so accustomed to success in the modern era. Adams left it behind, and Subiaco, the partial clearance. Kitchen's kick laterally, Potente aerially, couldn't hold on, and Kerr tries to spot up Fowler. Comes back to Fowler, who feeds it to Shannon. Over the football, the appetite for the contest still very much with Subiaco.
Kerr's option there, just a quick little handball, should have been the better option. Instead, he's gone for the kick to a 50-50 short target and just turned the football over, where they had the opportunity, Belly, just to be able to link up and run that football.
Shepherding called, Keitel hands it to Adams. He's got a beautiful kicking action. That time it was a 2-on-1. Lockyer, who Peter Bell suggested, has had a wonderful afternoon out. Takes the mark, gives it to Robinson. Rumble in support, premiership number 6. Can you believe that? An elite group of players to have achieved such a...
He's pinned him for a sling tackle there, Manning. Yaron tried to put the step on him. Manning, it's a vigorous tackle. Have a look at this. Can't do it anymore. Bit of frustration, I reckon.
That was building through the latter parts of the third quarter. Aaron looks a bit proppy, by the way. In fact,
he doesn't want to take the kick.
That might be him, if not for the day, certainly for a few minutes until he gets attended to.
Right, looks to be right leg.
Not a good sign if he's using the aid of trainers.
Gesturing to his knee area.
So have we seen the last of Shane Yaron in this grand final? Keitel, plenty of space ahead. And Black chips it for Van Berlo. Missed the target. Van Berlo did well. Dug it out. Potente's got a man out wide. Didn't get enough on the ball though. So Subiaco's defence, ample opportunity to mop up. And Worthington gathers. Short ball. Kitchen. No slowing down the game for him. He accelerates. Gives it to Phelan. Wood. 2 kicks from home. He's got Halligan or Toomey. It's a ladder who cruises to 40. Keeps it low. Too low as it turns out. Stays in play. And Manning with a sidestep. Runs into trouble. Works its way to Brown.
It's open, this game now.
And Nelson, we could see 15 goals the way this game is being played out. Bartholomew on the outer side. Loops it over the top to accommodate Shannon. Good leg speed.
He's quick, Shannon.
Hand pass was poor. Overshot the mark. Fowler was the target. Heel is claimed. Shannon. Potente. Now Shannon again. Bouncing his way inside 50. Why not take it on? Centering ball. Road. In the pocket. Ample space to spot up a man. Has to head outside 50 to do just that, but Kerr has it. In turn, strike. He does just that. Not enough on it, though. Just to the goal square. Lafanu with a comfortable chest mark. Little half volley. Not great for Peel. Possibility here for a snap. And it's hit the stick.
It's Fowler, was it?
Probably deserved better there, Fowler. Put on a really good tackle before and ended up getting the ball back, but unfortunately just couldn't finish off his good work.
Head down to Nick Wren to find out the latest on Shane Yarran, who's still getting some work on the boundary.
Yeah, guys, just down here, as you can see from the pictures, Shane Yarran having a bit of trouble with his right knee, had to be helped off the field. They've got the spray out, and they're looking at the inside of the knee. Strapping up now, though, he should be coming back on.
One thing is for certain, if you're about to win a premiership, you don't like to be on the sidelines when that siren sounds. I'm sure, Andrew and Peter, you've been there and done that. Plenty of Subiaco defenders back. Lowry didn't have first hands on it. Now he has an issue.
Been nailed for holding the ball. He's been pretty well held. The Subiaco defence, led by Darren Rumble, they've been miserly, stingy.
Extraordinary. 7 goals for the afternoon. Contest on the outer side, won by Adams. Squeezes it out for Bartholomew. Heel taps it, taken by Adams. Works it to Kerr. Intervening was Hoskins. And the Lions can break. Delahunty. Terrific dexterity. Menegola through the centre square. Support in all forms at the moment. And Halligan. 60 out.
They got a 2-on-1.
Top of the square. Toomey at the back. Mark was dropped at the front. By Boland, I think it was. And West Perth can amble out of defence. Sting out of this one. Keitel. Shielding his eyes with Shannon. And the ball trickles over.
I think Toomey got in the way of Boland in the end, but Boland to be ruining that. Missed opportunity would have been goal number 7.
Kennard Tire footy trivia, one more for this season, the last one for 2015. The current Fremantle Dockers Chief Executive Steve Rossich played for both West Perth and Subiaco. But for whom did he play more league games?
Steve, if you're watching, hit me up on the SMS.
ASAP. He might not be in the mood today to participate in our silly games. Been a tough weekend for every Dockers supporter. Rowan Kerr on the wing.
Have to be good.
Delahunty intervening, gets a fist to it. Fend off from Nelson. DeLuca traps him. Toomey leaking up with Delahunty off the outside of his boot. Inventive, to say the least. Tedesco dabs it forward. It's turned over. Kitchen by hand to Menegola. Pulls it back for Wood. Beautiful kick. And that was the kick of a young man who knows exactly his capabilities.
On the non-preferred side, Belly, and he just speared that ball. Have a look at this. That is a great kick going inside forward 50. And Wood, he's had a good year, Wood. Lining up for goal number 26. So he's been one of those small forwards that's taken his opportunity.
Searching for his first goal of the afternoon in this grand final. And just to the right. Only slightly framed. Played 13 games for Peel. No regrets having made the move. That's a given, particularly with a premiership today to show for it. Delahunty working his way into the game. Menegola chips it defensively for Kennedy.
Kitchen's had a big last quarter. 8 disposals already. Clearances, contested footy.
Lockyer heads laterally to Horsley. Bit of circle work in essence here. Inside the 50. And a sprawling mark taken and a bit of treatment from Kerr. But Toomey, and he smiles as he gets to his feet because he knows it's a certain goal. High fives all round.
On his way to becoming a 3-time premiership player, Wayne Toomey.
No trouble from the goal square.
As we have a look at this mark,
it was pretty clear, wasn't it? Pretty clear that he marked it. Kerr was not much to it, but he didn't need to do it. The umpire penalised him accordingly.
He's been outstanding, hasn't he? Came over from Swan Districts after winning the premiership with Swan Districts in 2010. Obviously a premiership player last year with Subiaco. And started defence today, but he's pushed forward and become a fantastic player for the Lions.
The Falcons started with a bang, but they're going out with a whimper. And insult to injury for Andrew Strike, who received a blow to the head in that passage. Delahunty knocks it down. Anagola, toe poking it forward. Hancock out to that door. Van Burlo breaks one tackle. Out to Rowe. Shannon with a promising move forward in the Fowler direction. Good use of the body. Wants to get it across to Lowry, who's got 3 to beat. And the odds always against him there. Phelan at the feet of Marnie. Was he taken high? Rowe careful not to infringe.
I reckon he went to fend off, so he's gone.
And that's exactly the way the umpire read it as well.
Ellie, from mine, just watching West Perth's ball use at times today, going inside their forward 50. They've had time to run and carry the football under no pressure, and what they've done is just kick the ball in quickly. I would like to see West Perth just take the game on a little bit more. And by kicking the ball in quickly, just allowing the Subiaco defenders to get back and help out. We've seen them be able to defend really well, Subiaco, but just got to make better decisions going inside their forward 50.
From 50, kick on its way, looks pretty good. And with muted applause, Rowe delivers. That just about sums up West Perth's afternoon.
Yeah, it might be a few West Perth sore heads. Andrew Strike copped one in the noggin there, so a bit of ice being applied.
Oh, there's a big mouse there as well.
That's a good shine that we just saw. Yeah, head clash there. Accidental, but that's going to be quite painful.
Doesn't hurt any less, even though it was an incidental action. Wearing the scars of what's been a tough afternoon against Subiaco. Delahunty, lively. 2 Subiaco ruckmen, moved well, get involved at ground level. Nelson wraps up Delahunty on this occasion. Lynch momentarily. Kitchen off the deck in the direction of Manzoni. Heads back to Bartholomew. Will Ray continue next season? There'll be a couple of players at West Perth asking that question, although I'm sure there's a couple of lines. Will Darren Rumble go around again? There's every reason he should, given the way Subiaco keeps just notching premierships. Inside the centre square. Kick in the Toomey direction. Nudged out of it. And Potente spots Morrow, who's cramping up or it's sore. High ball. Lowry in front. Rumble, discipline. Ends up with Delahunty. And Horsley trying to buy some time. Back to Rumble.
How good has Rumble been today again? He's been terrific. Done the job on Lowry.
And he hits up Kitchen, who wants to take the game on even at this late stage. Paid a free kick. It wasn't a mark, but this time Rodder, and as I've mentioned a couple of times, it hasn't been his day. This time he cops a break. To the wing. And Lockyer. Symptomatic of really Subiaco. Their defence knows when to defend and knows when to maybe go for their shots.
They just play their roles so well, don't they, Bella? They understand their roles. They structure up so well. And on the flip side to that, we've seen West Perth really lose their structure behind the football today. And that's what's allowed Subiaco just to slice through them and get them out the back time and time again.
Delahunty's ball. Taken by Brown. Off to Nelson. And Bartholomew gives Manzoni the opportunity to run. A couple of bounces. Inside 50. Van Burlo kept his feet, but Subiaco's numbers again just making life almost impossible for this defence. The forward movement of West Perth. Delahunty can certainly get hold of the football in general play. Boland, back by hand. Short ball. Kitchen and
Kitchen. Let me just check the stats here in this last quarter, because I think he's had a massive last quarter. He's found a lot of space.
Smile on the face of Chris Phelan as he heads back to approach from 50.
He's had 8. And I reckon
the way he's going, it'll be another 15.
I reckon he's got another 4 or 5 in him at least.
Absolutely, plenty of time. Half the quarter to travel. And Phelan sprays it left.
Had more disposals this year than any other Subiaco player. Chris Phelan had a very big year, polled really well in the Sandover Medal too.
Of course, coming up at 6 o'clock on 7 is the news with the latest on the West Coast Eagles ticketing and how to get to Melbourne for the big dance. Wheeler off to Hoskins, tried to fend off unsuccessfully. Broken up by Nelson. Close to the boundary line, it's Manzoni. And the pace of the game in the last compared to the first is quite stark. Rasmussen, his brave bid to play is going to be all in vain. Horsley on the counter. Subiaco always looking ominous. And watch out! Down he goes. Brown came hard. And he took a fair piece of DeLuca with him.
Great courage, DeLuca. That is inspiring stuff. Let's hope he's okay.
That was like a shirt front out of the 70s.
That's a massive hit. That is extraordinary courage from DeLuca. Brown elevated.
Did he, having left the ground...
he's in trouble. You can't do that anymore. The game's changed. But just great courage by DeLuca. It was a tough contest. It was hard. It wasn't malicious, but the fact that you make head-high contact with someone, you're always going to find yourself in trouble now, Belly.
Yep.
That was a contact that was inevitable with the ball heading in DeLuca's direction. He had eyes only for it. And to be fair...
Big effort for him to get up. He's up to his feet.
Absolutely. And Steve Brown, I have to say, I don't think, as you said, Andrew, it was lifting the elbow. There was nothing malicious. But when you leave the ground in modern footy, the consequences speak loudly. Heads off under the blood rule.
Let's hope his jaw's okay. The way he's holding it.
And DeLuca getting some words of encouragement from his teammates as he heads off the ground. All of which means a 50-metre penalty. Phelan from almost the top of the square. And DeLuca taking some time to make his way off the ground. Amazing that the stretcher wasn't called for.
That's tough, isn't it? And the Subi crowd are right to give him a rousing reception.
He may be seeing stars, but in about 15 minutes we're also seeing a premiership medallion around his neck. All of which makes the equation for Phelan oh so simple. Push and shove in the aftermath of the collision between Brown and DeLuca. No point in Subiaco players getting too worked up over it. The game has been won. The premiership is theirs. And the margin continues to grow. Almost about to enter time on. Cunin wins it down, taken by Adams. Then he knocks it further afield into the path of Manning. Held without it. And he'll go back from inside the centre square to take the kick. Spearing ball in a Lowry direction. He holds on the second attempt. It's a few ironical cheers, but Darren Rumble, one of the toughest hombres to go toe-to-toe with.
Rumble saying, no, he marked it here. Just another metre and a half out just to put him out of range.
Take his best effort here, Michael Lowry. It's a long way away.
Close to the man on the mark, gives it a heap of air. It'll come up short. Wheeler off his chest. Mopping up was Worthington. By hand to Robinson. Ample time to go back to Wheeler. At half back. Kicks for Menegola.
Just got out of that too easy there, Belly.
Last 10 minutes of the grand final, these things can emerge. Some more goals coming up potentially.
Almost.
Hancock trying to draw that penalty. Gets it back from Lockyer. Hancock dabs it inside 50. Spore came. And Kerr from Manzoni. Doesn't hit that well. Brilliant pick up by Van Berlo. Wheels around.
Should score a goal here.
And Coonan has Nelson in support. Ignores the midfielder. Wants to go himself on the left. Black didn't take the mark off a step. It's all about the bounce here in the goal square. And finally, the Sandover medalist sends one through.
Consolation goal there for Aaron Black. They had a lot of space through the midfield. I thought Coonan initially made a mistake by kicking it, but Black was good enough to kick the goal.
Been a great season for West Perth, but of course the last memory we'll have of them is this finale, which is a bitter taste in the mouth for every Falcon supporter. Manning at halfback. 2-on-1 favours West Perth. Black involved. Patente there. And now Nelson. A fumble which meant that he had to spread it wide for Lynch, and he kicks to the goal mouth, but Darren Rumble knows this part of the ground oh so well. Finds Horsley in the back pocket. Menegola caught behind. Kerr was there. Menegola won it. A fend off. And then kicks to the wing. Keitel from behind Boland. Adams. Across to Manning. Lowry on the advance. Crunch.
Oh, well done.
Menegola.
Head over the footy. Menegola.
He won it. And he distributed it well. Keitel's ball knocked down. Kerr close to the line. Fowler, not quite. Hoskins on his backside. Gives it off, and Marnie hooks it around his body to the wing. 4 Falcons are up. No one can win it. Slapped forward there by Toomey. What a game he's had. Bartholomew. It's messy footy, but West Perth have conjured a kick to Strike, who's back on the ground after that knock to the head. Spreads it wide, but not enough on that ball. And the Falcons, again, just unable to penetrate this outstanding Subiaco defence. Wheeler has gone out of the game somewhat, but importantly, he helped set this victory up. To full forward. Mark was dropped, and right up, that was a panic kick. A man that had a bit more time than what he thought. Back to that question regarding Dockers CEO Steve Rosic. He played 7 games for the Lions and 3 for West Perth.
They're all quality.
Absolutely. 10 more than myself. Long ball, inside 50. Boland, great gather. That's a brilliant goal. And that is a wonderful way to cap off his grand final. Have to go back to 1978 when Peter Bozzusto kicked 7 in a losing grand final effort. Today, Boland 7, and none better than this.
Yeah, clever. Most of his goals have come from marks, but in the contest, and then a nice little front and square. And I reckon, Belly, that 7th goal may just get him the Simpson medal. He's had a lot of teammates that have fed him the football today, but as a key forward to stand up in the biggest game of your career and kick 7 goals has been an enormous achievement.
Interference for West Perth. Seconds ticking down. Bartholomew straightens up. Bit of space in this forward line now. That was an awkward effort by Rasmussen. And now he's confronted by Rumble.
To get rid of that, unfortunately, he's gone.
Will get. It was a desperate effort by Rasmussen, but once he didn't take the mark, he was always under pressure.
Brave effort for him to get up, Rasmussen. Really looked like he was struggling when he came off the ground last week. Someone said he may have even had a small little crack in his leg, but he's got himself up and certainly been a contributor today for West Perth.
Brown, just too many Lions to beat there. Menegola, one of whom. Toomey there to support. Off to Horsley. Tedesco and DeLuca He doesn't need another knock.
Great to see him back on the ground.
Absolutely. He doesn't want to miss the moment.
He doesn't look great.
No, he's just staggering off the ball. And best he stay out of harm's way if at all possible. Subiaco winning some more footy in the corridor. Delahunty, great dexterity. Now Toomey is loose full to the ball. Menegola, Wood, Kitchen, still Toomey asked, but he's not going to receive. Or will he? Kitchen says yes, I'll lay it off. And his teammate, who was left alone for the best part of 30 seconds, wants to join the party here with a goal himself. He's got one already, but he's going to lay this off. And Michael Wood, inexplicably, well, maybe it is understandable at this time of the day.
I thought they were trying to get Darren Rumble free there, who drifted forward.
Like Guy McKenna in his final game of footy.
So unselfish from Wade Toomey. Just been terrific all day today. And just waited for someone to lead to the space that said, you know what, Woody, you can have this one.
It's been a great afternoon for the Lions. The premiership is theirs, and they deserve it after a brilliant season.
Martin getting right out now. Disappointing for West Perth, but Subiaco have beaten the master today. It was an arm wrestle for a quarter and a half. Then after that, Subi's running prowess and better ball use got the better of the Falcons.
Given it's a top 5 in the WAFL now, and there's talk that it might change again next season, the top team in a top 5 appears to have a massive advantage.
And we've seen that today, haven't we? The rest that Subiaco have had through the final series.
That must be Shane Yarran's little one, I'm presuming.
Pretty happy too.
And they've been able to come out today fresh, and they've run this game out really well. And that is Shane Yarran's
little one,
little baby.
And $5,000, of course, into the back pocket for Shane today after kicking the Rewa.com goal of the year. He'll enjoy the moment for sure, which is not far away. It's been a fantastic afternoon for the Lions.
And they're still going back with the flight of the football.
Absolutely. The courage shown with the game decided, extraordinary. Van Berlo on the up black. Hands it to Kerr. Probing kick inside 50. Fowler under pressure from Heel. And they're starting to gather on the sidelines, as is customary at this time of a grand final. So much hard work, so much toil, but it's all worthwhile. And Andrew and Peter, through various forms of footy, you're aware of this type of moment. Tumbling kick in the Rasmussen direction.
Won a free kick there. He didn't mark it, but won a free kick for in the back against Wheeler. Jared Schofield very happy with himself, and so he should be. His effort at Subiaco has been extraordinary.
The Lions go back-to-back in the most emphatic fashion. Subiaco are champions again. A goal after the siren. But in the end, Subiaco running out convincing winners, 21-10, 136 to the Falcons, 9-10, 64. They are worthy champions.
Congratulations to the Subiaco Football Club. They've been the best team all year, the best defensive side. Their ability just to be able to put you under pressure, force you into the turnover, hurt you on the counter-attack. They've done it all year, and they've been able to do it in the most important game, the grand final. Menegola on screen was outstanding again today. Fair chance he might end up at his third AFL club next year. But overall, just their ability to be able to win the football on the inside, move it forward, and their forward line combination this afternoon of Boland and Shane Yarran really made the most of those inside 50 entries, Belly.
Yeah, it was the difference, the two big forwards for Subi, but looking through their lineup, there wasn't a weak link today. Before the match, I said it is about spreading the load at Subiaco, and they certainly did that today. Their defence was brilliant, led by Darren Rumble and Jordan Lockyer. Had winners all over the ground, and in the most important part of the ground, up forward, they had Boland with 7 and Yarran with 5.
It just goes to show Subiaco's dominance again this year. The margin between the best being the Lions and the rest, it's quite stark, particularly this season.
There's a big gap, and Jared Schofield needs to take a lot of responsibility for what he's done. They are such a well-drilled team, this Subiaco. They understand their roles. When players come in, they play their roles, and that's all you expect from players. And to be able to do that in the most important game, like they've been able to do that today, is a massive effort, and they certainly deserve to be the premiers. They've been the best side, without a doubt, in 2015.
And just in that last minute, you saw a number of players still going back with the flight of the ball. Saw DeLuca get absolutely smashed in a contest, but still the Subiaco players showed courage all day when the grand final was already in the bag. That's a sign of a great spirit at the football club.
Yes, it's one of those great moments, I can only assume, as you wrap up a season of dominance, 17 wins, 3 losses. They have been the team of the season. Jared Schofield, the JJ Medal. It's a wonderful moment for them, and they are celebrating accordingly. Let's go to Nick Wren, boundary side.
Yeah, thanks, Skeet. I'm here with a man who's just won his 6th senior WAFL premiership. Darren Rumble, how does it feel?
Oh, I just can't believe it, eh? Just, oh no, still trying to sink in. You know, like, it's hard to not think about it, winning 6, when everyone keeps writing about it and talking about it, but I don't know, man. It's just, I've been a lucky man.
What's it like out there when you know for the whole last quarter you probably knew you were home and host? How do you handle that?
Well, we knew, obviously, with about halfway through we were pretty well right, but I think I went to the bench and still copped the spray from Scully about mucking around with the ball a bit, so he was on edge even though we were whatever, 60 points up, whatever it was, but yeah, I don't know, it's good.
Mate, not everyone gets a fairy tale in their last game. Anything you'd like to say, anyone like to thank on your last
I just want to thank the footy club. It's been a pleasure to play for this club, and we get a bit of stick, whatever, for different reasons, but it's the professionalism of the club and the professionalism of the boys, and there's a reason why we're this successful is because we are that professional, and the culture of the club's brilliant. So
thanks very much, mate. Congratulations. Over to Cassie with Shane Yaron.
Shane, you hobbled out here. You're out here celebrating with all the boys. How are you feeling?
Oh, it's unbelievable. The emotions now, you can't explain. Going back to back, we come out here, we did our structures and played the roles as Scully said, and I mean, the results happen. You get it itself.
Yeah, great. And I saw your little one watching as well. That's pretty special.
Yes, that's very special. I've been wanting to hold her, but I'm a bit limited at the moment, but I'll make a way to her and get to her.
Well, good luck with all the celebrations. I mean, hopefully that doesn't hold you back too much. I mean, what's the plan with that here?
We're going to get some scans and take it slowly. We'll enjoy the win first, and then we'll move on.
Enjoy the celebrations. It's over to Nick.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Cassie. Here I've got probably the form player of the WAFL, Sam Menegola. Sam, you've had a long run up to this point, but now you're a WAFL premiership player. How does it feel?
It's hard to put into words. Just sort of said already, it's sort of, obviously you hear the boys talk about the bond that you have with the guys that you win a flag with and how good it feels when all the work comes together, and just that feeling as soon as the siren goes. And it just makes sense now. It's just unbelievable to experience it. It's just the best feeling in footy. It's just, oh yeah, I can't really put it into words, to be honest.
Does this, I suppose, make up for all those weeks you spent on the sidelines and all that time you spent at clubs without breaking through?
Oh yeah, I mean, pretty personally, I've experienced sort of the low points of what they talk about, the roller coaster of football, and definitely sitting at the high point at the moment. It's awesome.
Well, beautiful, mate. Congratulations, and good luck with everything and the draft, if you're lucky enough to get your name called out.
Thanks, just worry about that cup for now.
Thanks, guys. Back to you.
There we go. There's Nick Wren with Sam Menegola. Also had Darren Rumble and Shane Yaron. They were dominant all over the ground. Subiaco Football Club. Stick around. Presentations up next. There they are, jubilant scenes for the Subiaco Football Club. They've gone back-to-back and the players are celebrating. Well-deserved victory. There's Menegola. The longer the game went on, the better he became. Big Boland up forward with 7 goals. They had winners all over the field, the Subiaco Footy Club. DeLuca showed great courage. Yaron was brilliant. Got an injury late in the game, and there's the despair. Manzoni tried hard. Rodder didn't get much of a look. That was the difference, I think, between the two clubs. The delivery, Andrew Embley, forward to Subiaco, so much better to West Perth. The despair as compared to contrasting with the ecstasy there for the Subi Footy Club.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Bally. Subiaco just used the football so well today.
they had options in their forward line. They had guys in there. Boland, in particular, with 7 goals, was outstanding.
Let's go down to Mark Reddings for the presentations.
WAFL Premiership Cup. After what's been a wonderful 2015 season, today it was Subiaco and West Perth in the grand final. Can you please show your appreciation to both clubs? And of course the WAFL appreciates the support of McDonald's. They are the official naming rights partner for the 2015 WAFL Premiership season. And on stage with me on behalf of McDonald's is Terry Creasy, McDonald's WA licensee.
Thank you very much. What an amazing weekend of football in Western Australia, culminating in today's outstanding display of skills and sportsmanship by Subiaco and West Perth. What a treat for so many passionate and loyal fans. Congratulations to the WA Football Commission and for staging another incredible WAFL Grand Final event here at Domain Stadium. As major sponsor of the WAFL, McDonald's WA and licensees are delighted to see the competition grow each year, with more fans attending every game and the chance to watch them live on television now through Channel 7. McDonald's WA and the licensees have a long and proud history of supporting grassroots sport in this state and look forward to continuing our relationship with the WA Football League. Congratulations to both teams for a fantastic game today, and in particular to the 2015 premiers, Subiaco.
Thank you, Terry. Terry Creasy from McDonald's. As we move to our umpire presentations, and of course, footy doesn't operate without the work of our umpires. Football's theme of umpiring is everyone's business. Asks that we respect the role of the umpires and acknowledge the important role that they do play. Firstly, I would like to invite Trevor Camp to the stage to make the presentations to today's umpires in recognition of their achievement in umpiring the grand final. Trevor is the Umpires Ball champion for 2015 and umpired 284 league games, including 17 at VFL, AFL level, plus the 1981 and 1986 WAFL grand finals. The umpires from today's game will now come forward to receive a grand final medallion in recognition of officiating in today's grand final. Our field umpires for today's league game were Scott McPhee, Stuart Parry and Matt Adams. The emergency, Rob McCaw. Running the boundary, we had Josh Garrett, Ryan Kakura, Kyle Sinclair and Sean Moylan. And in goal was Sam Hunter and Sally Bowd, with third scorer being Brodie Payne. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please put your hands together for our officials in the 2015 McDonald's Grand Final. Thank you to our men and women in green throughout the course of the season, but also specifically today for their work. Well, of course, it's been a wonderful season for the West Perth Football Club. Today didn't finish the season as they would have wished. But I'd like to call forward the captain of today, Luke Tedesco, to say a few words on behalf of his club.
Firstly, I'd like to congratulate Jared, Kyle and the Subiaco Football Club. The success you've had in the last decade is unprecedented, and the professionalism and hard work you put into it certainly deserve today's victory, so congratulations. To McDonald's, major sponsor of the WAFL, all the major sponsors of our club, to the coaching staff, support staff and the whole playing group, thanks very much for your efforts this year.
Thank you, Luke. Luke Tedesco from the West Perth Football Club. A tough time when you lose a grand final, but they're such a proud club, they will return bigger and better in 2016. And one of the most enduring features of WA football has been the Simpson Medal. It's been presented since 1945 to some outstanding players in grand finals and state games. I'd like to call forward Paul Simpson, representing the Simpson family, to join me now on stage to announce this year's winner.
Thank you, Mark. It gives me great pleasure to announce that the winner of the Simpson Medal for this grand final is Matthew Boland.
First of all, just like to say thanks to West Perth for a tough contest today. Should be proud of what you achieved this year. You kept coming at us all day, and it was a tough game. I'd like to thank all the fans for coming out and supporting us today. Really appreciate it. And to our boys, well done. Let's go and celebrate.
Congratulations, Matty. Matty Boland, 7 goals today, and our Simpson medalist. Well, of course, John Todd is a football legend in Western Australia. Todd will now be presenting the John Todd Medal to the 2015 Premiership coach. This medal has been named, of course, after John and in recognition to his outstanding coaching record and his wonderful involvement in football. We thank John for assisting us today in the presentation, and I'd like to ask the winning coach of the Subiaco Football Club, Jared Schofield, to come forward to receive the 2015 John Todd Medal.
Thank you, Mark. It's a pleasure. Once again, Subiaco were dominant all year, lost 3 games. They were the informed side, and they got the job done. My medal goes Jared Schofield. He's collecting so many medals of late. You just bet with the price of gold, mate, you might get something out of these. Anyhow, well done, Jared. Congratulations.
Thanks, John. Obviously, it's always an honour to win medals, obviously in the name of yourself, but it's obviously a team thing, and our Subi boys, they're an easy bunch to coach. But first and foremost, I just want to thank Billy and the West Perth boys. Commiserations. We respect you highly. You're a quality side, and we know you'll be back here next year. You really had to make us work today, and you have all over the season. So all the best for next year. To our boys, look. I said it in the rooms and I'll say it again, couldn't be any prouder of the players that played today, but even more so the blokes standing behind them. We have a fantastic group of players that commit to the program, commit to the footy club and demonstrate the right attributes that we want at our footy club. So it's a club thing, but well done to the boys that played today. Also, I'd just like to thank our sponsors. QBE, our major sponsors, been with us for 30 odd years. Thank you. Want to thank all our family and friends for coming, and get back upstairs and let's enjoy this one, eh?
Congratulations, Jared, and thanks to John Todd for the presentation of the medal. And I'll be inviting the Premiership players of the Subiaco Football Club to come forward individually and accept their Premiership medallions from the members of your Little League team who are here today. So, off the back of that, the first name I invite forward is number 2, Michael Wood. Number 5, Lee Kitchen. Number 7, Sam Menegola. Number 8, Scott Worthington. Number 9, Wade Toomey. Number 10, Chris DeLuca. Number 11, Brett Robinson. Number 12, the Simpson medalist, Matthew Boland. Number 14, Brett Marnie. Number 15, Chris Phelan. Number 16, Scott Hancock. Number 17, Lachlan Delahunty. Number 20, Clancy Wheeler. Number 21, Jordan Lockyer. Number 23, a 6-time premiership player, Darren Rumble. Number 24, Craig Hoskins. Number 26, Charles Lafanu. Number 28, Shane Yarran. Number 33, Hayden Kennedy. Number 35, Kyle Halligan. Number 36, Aaron Heel. And that leaves the captain of the Subiaco Football Club, Kyle Horsley.
Obviously, first of all, to Billy, Teddy, VB, unbelievable performance today. To come out the way you guys did and put that much heat in us. You know, you've been up for 14 weeks straight. You've got a real short draw with the fixtures. So the way you guys played was so respectable, and we were absolutely off our feet. We ended up getting a couple of counter-attack goals, which gave us a bit of space. To the WAFL, the sponsors, obviously none of this goes ahead without your hard work. McDonald's, Channel 7, huge performance. To the board of our club and the coaches, the professionalism you guys set, the standards you guys set really filters down to the group, and without your hard work, your dedication and the way you keep us in check, this would never be possible. To our boys, to the umpires as well. Parry, still here, unbelievable career, mate. I think 6 grand finals. This is your 7th. Unbelievable effort. You retire, one of the WAFL legends. Great. And lastly, to our boys, unbelievable performance today. To the guys who missed out and the whole 50 in the squad, it takes the whole group working so hard for so long to achieve something like this. It's just absolute magic. And to our fans coming to the rooms tonight, we'll have one hell of a party.
Thank you, Kyle. Don't go anywhere, because I'd like to invite Terry Creasy from McDonald's to return to join us for the moment that Subiaco fans and their players have been waiting for.
Okay, it's with great privilege that I present the 2015 Macca's WAFL Premiership Cup to Subiaco.
There you have it, jubilant seeing Subiaco Football Club emerge victorious by 66 points. Simpson medalist Matthew Boland, 7 goals, and they've got every right to be happy. There's the Subiaco Lions enjoying the moment. It's been a fantastic year for them. I think they only lost 3 games this year, so there's going to be big celebrations long into the night. They're outstanding. West Perth gallant for a quarter and a little while, but in the end, irrepressible. Subi Footy Club. Plenty more coming up on 7, including the big one, the grand final in the AFL. That's to come. Plenty more sport on Channel 7.
Subiaco celebrations in full swing. 66-point winners over West Perth in today's WAFL grand final. A sweet feeling for all those involved, and for many going back-to-back under the tutelage of Jared Schofield. What a performance by Subiaco. Far too good for West Perth, and of course they had probably 3 or 4 players that could have been awarded the Simpson Medal, let alone the China Southern Airlines Player of the Day.
That's right. It was very difficult to finally settle on a top 5 for the Simpson Medal, but the right decision was made. Matthew Boland, 7 goals in a grand final, Andrew. And we have a look at the China Southern Airlines Player of the Year. Boland in there as well, as you'd expect. It's a pretty significant achievement, and one for which he should be very proud. But he was the difference up there with Yaron, Andrew.
It was outstanding. Really important that your key targets provide options, and certainly that's what Boland did today. Had plenty of supply, but just made the most of his opportunities. Had good support there from Shane Yaron. But again, that was probably the difference for mine. Bally, Subiaco's key forwards kicked 12 goals between them. And then when you have a look at West Perth, Rodder and Lowry, who are fantastic all year and had a good game last week, only kicked the 1 goal between them today.
I guess the question off the back of the dominant performance again by Subiaco, will they lose too many senior players to retirement or moving on with their life? They just have the look of a team that could quite easily make it 3 in a row.
Yeah, they've got a lot of young players coming through, and if you look through their lineup, every single player contributed today, and that's what you get. That's why you get an 11-goal victory in a grand final. There wasn't a weak link, and I think there's enough depth coming through the Subiaco Football Club, and they're so well coached, and it looks like Jared Schofield's got a really good system. Now, maybe Schofield might go on to the AFL. There's every possibility, but he's put in place a system where the next guy can come in.
Subiaco just has a winning culture, and they just know how to win premierships, and their players that come out today, 22 players, and they play their role. And I know football clubs speak a lot about that, just playing your role for the team. They understand their roles as good as anyone, and I know Jared Schofield mentioned the other guys as well. It's a big contribution, and players come in and they make the most of their opportunities, and that's exactly what Subiaco do.
Big tally kicked in the end, 21 goals, 10 7 goal quarters in the second and the third. Sam Menegola, 31 touches. They had so many weapons today to really cut open West Perth.
Yeah, Menegola was outstanding the longer the game went on. Phelan, Kitchen got a lot of ball through the midfield. But I thought the defence, unheralded defence. Rumble was very good. Lockyer was outstanding. You see there, West Perth actually won a lot of the key areas in the game, but Subi killed them in open play. That slingshot counter-attack football, that's where they're lethal best.
Absolutely, yeah. We saw West Perth actually go inside their forward 50 more times than Subiaco this afternoon. But from that, just Subiaco's pressure, forcing West Perth into that turnover and then slingshot footy, counter-attack, transition. Menegola was outstanding. They just continued to get West Perth out the back all day.
So off the back of that, Sam Menegola, second half of the season outstanding. He's been with 2 AFL clubs. Does he get that third chance?
I think he does. He's a really good size, very, very strong and an elite runner. He works very hard at his game. He'll want to celebrate this victory, but if he gets another opportunity, hopefully someone gives him a bit more of a licence to run and accumulate the footy. In the past, I think he's been only looked at as a run-with player, but he's got more than that, I think.
And it's this type of night that footballers cherish. You've won the premiership, you're with your friends, your family, you go to the rooms and savour it all.
Some lovely vision late, wasn't there, Andrew, of Shane Yarran and daughter as well, cherishing the moment. It is great. You put in so much to football, so you go back with the family, relax, and you thank everyone who's been a part of your success.
So Subiaco enjoying the spoils of victory, 66 points, the final margin over West Perth in the 2015 WAFL Grand Final. A triple header here in Perth this weekend. A chance to catch our breath momentarily before we get down to the big one of the season, Hawthorn versus the West Coast Eagles.
It's going to be a terrific game of football. The two best teams in the competition, two teams that can score, two teams that defend so well. I know this place in Western Australia especially will be very excited this week, so good luck to the West Coast Eagles. Good luck to Hawthorn. Should be a wonderful grand final.
Looking forward to it. The Brownlow tomorrow night. So much more to come on 7 Sport. And, of course, 7 News comes up straight after this for details on the West Coast Eagles, their travel plans and how you can get to Melbourne for the biggest game of the year. Thanks to all the team here at 7 for our first year back in the WAFL. It's been a pleasure bringing you the coverage in 2015. Subiaco are the champions, home by 66 points, back-to-back premierships. They will celebrate long and hard after what's been a famous victory here at Domain Stadium.